Good morning, everybody. Belated Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year coming up. You can see one of the things I got for Christmas. Got my best dad ever coffee mug.
There you
The
go.
guy, I think out of all the stuff I got in this thing, and I don't, I'm not worried about. I've reached the age where I don't care what anything costs, but or like prices or whatever. But I think I'm teared up in this, and it was probably one of the cheaper presents. But I teared up a little bit. I'm like, oh my gosh, and it's still corny because it's I think every dad probably has one. It's like a rite of passage. You got to have one. But I don't care. I loved it. So
There you go.
Judd, how you doing? How was your Christmas?
Doing good. I'm wearing some of my Christmas.
Oh, jeez. You know what? If you weren't the co-host, I'd ban you. But you're.
Also got this, but
Whoa, Fighters of Europe. Whoa,
yeah.
nice. Who's that from?
Um, the game company.
Yeah. Who's the
You'd ask me. I
publisher?
don't have my glasses. Capsium Games, I think it's called.
Hmm. I
I
bet
didn't
that's
know a
a
lot about it.
yeah.
It used to be around 2010, 2011, 12, 13, around there when I was getting back in the games. My dad could always find me games over in Joplin. You know,
Yeah.
he liked World War II, so he'd find a cool World War II looking game and got me
Nice.
Battle Cry to give me the Civil War stuff like that, Hearts and Minds. Well, as my collection got really big, it got hard to buy for me. So
Yep.
he'd do, give me some money and say go find a game. But
Find
he
your own.
called up, and that place at Seventh in Virginia and Joplin had moved to a bigger place, a whole lot more games.
Oh, nice.
And he happened to be there and looked through and said, "Hey, I saw a couple games. Would you be interested in any?" And I looked at the other one was a designer I had doubts about developing. I've mentioned him before and writing rules, and I was like, man, not enough comments. But this one, I thought, shoot, it looks like a simple game. Had some decent comments. I'll take a look at it. Looks cool. So
Nice.
knew nothing about it,
Nice. No,
but
hey, check it out. That's the nice thing, right? So this whole knowing everything about a game and you're looking at every little press release and pre-order and Facebook page and BGG page. And you're like, I know everything about this game before it even arrives. Kind of cool to have that experience. I don't think we get that as much nowadays. When I lived in Springfield, there was a game store. There's a couple of them in town, but there was Nameless City Games. He had War Games. He was old War Game. He was an old ASL player, though. I should say I talked to him, but he didn't really play all War Games. He played like ASL and then dabbled a little bit in other stuff. But they ended up going out of business. Figures, right? We used. It's funny because the department I worked at in Missouri, me and a couple of the other officers, we used to go play Magic the Gathering there. I couldn't get him in any war games. They didn't want to do that. So it's fine. So he's playing Magic the Gathering, but picked up a couple games from him. But went out of business. But then I think what's the big one there?
there's one over by
Metal
Battlefield
City or something.
Mall
Yeah.
back around 2011. I got some memoir stuff there.
Oh, that's where you were at then, or were
Is
you
that?
at?
I want to say it's near Battlefield Mall.
Yeah. That's where he was over by there. And then there was another bigger one that was more of like a general board game store.
Hmm.
They were still in business when I left, but they like had like no war games, and so it was all right. I mean, you could get any random stuff you wanted, but so anyway, good morning, everybody. It is we're on a having a little bit of a warm spell here. Remember, I think our last show I said it was like below zero. Well, now we're back up. Now we're up to like 30s, 40s. Let me
Oh,
get
I'm
that.
finally seeing my message. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Your good gets better and your better gets best. Bears on three. One, two, three, bears. Woo. Calm down, Toe. Where do you get the gamer who has everything? Yeah, that's the truth.
I'm back.
Okay.
All right. So,
You missed me do the Bears chant. Somebody had it. Good, better, best up at the top.
oh shoot, sorry I missed that. Who we got? We got who? Quail Bird. Oh, geez, my chat's going crazy. You got a lot of people. We got a lot of people here chit chatting. I love it. Uh, Quail Bird here with it. Good morning, gentlemen. Been a wonderful holiday. Too much, yeah. Wayne, let's hope the Packers get through a game tonight without any more serious injuries. That's the thing I'm worried about. Like we got the playoff berth clinched. Feels like we kind of slide in sideways, but whatever. But then with the injuries, Jordan Love, like I don't like concussions. Your quarterback. I mean, that's yeah. I don't know. We got and then obviously Micah Parsons went down for the year. Not looking forward. I don't know how well we're gonna do, but always Packers. Got my totem there. Packers forever. So just like Judd was saying earlier, it's like Bears no matter what, doesn't matter. So always hope for the best though. Uh, Daniel, oh yeah, hi Wayne Judd. Merry Christmas from Spain. Look forward to today's program. It's 4 p.m. there. Okay, perfect time for the program. See, I thought I've noticed that on this show, whenever I have it, my morning show, and I had the old one I used to do on, I think, Friday mornings, and now with Judd and I, we had a lot of people from Europe, England, Europe, continental Europe, everywhere. Well, in Asia too, I guess, although it gets a little later there. But it's great to see you guys. Bruce, great to see you. Springfield, Pennsylvania. Okay, yep. Snowy, New Jersey from Josh. Jeez, look at all these people here. Great to see everybody. Christoph, of course. Jeff, Paul, Stuka Joe. Oh my gosh, you guys. Also, is it the Bears? Let me see. Can I ban you? Let me see if I can. Nah, we'll leave you. You know what? In the spirit of the holidays, we'll leave you be Charles, Robert, David. Man, we got a ton of people. Vince, of course. Go Pack Go. That's right. Quail, you're promoted. Let's see. Charles says, if I still followed football, the Bears, Chargers moving destroyed me. Yeah, I can't. Well, so, like, I was born in Wisconsin. Quick little side, and then we'll maybe dive into the topic of the show. I was born in Wisconsin. Then when I was a kid, my mom moved us to Minnesota. And although because I've always had the Wisconsin connection, it's always been Packers for NFL. It's been Badgers for, college football. It's Brewers for baseball. The Wisconsin, for whatever reason, doesn't have a hockey team. A professional hockey team.
Seriously?
Yeah, they should have one. And I know nowadays they say, well, if they did, it'll monopolize the market, or it'll not monopolize. Excuse me, it'll take market share just away from Minnesota Wild, who I follow now, and then the Chicago Blackhawks. But I'm like, listen, I'm not saying it's going to add 10 million new fans because there aren't that many people in Wisconsin. But at the same time, like, you really don't think they should have a hockey? They have a huge hockey presence in the youth level, amateur, college level. The Badgers men's and women's hockey teams are usually competing for some of the best in the nation. So it makes no sense. Like, it makes no sense to have a professional one. But
yeah, Mark Johnson, I think, went to your alma mater from the Miracle on Ice team.
Yeah. There was. I mean, it makes no sense. But anyway, well, great to see everybody. Today's show is gonna be a lot of fun. First off, I don't have a real time limit, so I don't know what Judd's is, but he's got time. So we're not. This isn't a 60-minute cutoff like it has been the last couple shows. So we're gonna have some fun. And we're gonna cover a bunch of our games. So we're gonna cover our most anticipated of 2026, and I'm gonna, with the caveat, at least for me, of what I could think of before we did the show. I guarantee one of you guys is gonna post and I want to hear your guys' most anticipated for next year, and that's expected. It may slip to 2027. You know how it is with games nowadays. Who knows when it'll actually come out, right? But expected at least to come out in 2026. What are you looking forward to from any publisher? Solitaire, not solitaire? And we probably have some, well, I know we have some non-war games we're going to slip in too. Definitely some Ameritrash and maybe something else in there. We'll see. You guys can tune out at that point. We'll save it for last. So, all right. Well, geez, Judge, should we get started?
Sure.
Should we fire it up? All right,
sure.
Let's see if I can get this thing working now that we're
One down.
Go. All right.
Okay. Toe the cat's back for Christmas vacation.
I say the cat's got enough love. It's time to we got to get going here.
Yeah.
All right. Audio. Boom. All right. Everybody see that? Judd still looking good up there?
Yeah.
All right. So, Judd, well, I'll let you lead off. Then what we'll do is we'll alternate. So me and Judd will alternate on talking games. Unless there's something that we both are interested in, which I think there's at least one that we're both interested in. I'm sure there's more than one ultimately. But as of now, we'll go one by one. So, Judd, what do you got for us?
Okay. It is Grand Army of the Republic. I was actually shocked. I went to Compass Games yesterday, and then I'd just do their linked games and show me by year. Yeah. So I was like, wow, I didn't even know. I go, surely that's not that old Roger Nord game, and I clicked it, and it was. And the original game came out in 1988 with Task Force Games. I think you got a picture of it.
Let's see here. Hang on. I know I was fooling around here. Got the one. Task Force Games. I got it. How about that one right there?
There you go.
Is that what we're talking about? Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. I had that game around 2011 or so. I was getting this big Civil War phase, and looking at it, and
Oh, look
it
at
was
that.
yeah.
Oh, look at that map.
Oh yeah, Task Force was Task Force made some of the ugliest games. I dare
Oh my
say Ultra Warrior
gosh.
is the ugliest game ever made. I mean, yeah, map and counters and all, it's terrible. But Task Force, famous for Starfleet battles. Um,
But how was the gameplay though?
Gameplay was interesting, but not enough to make me hold on to it. It's Axis and Allies, which
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of mid about, but it
Yep.
had a really clever mechanic. It didn't have the plastic, which always hurts an Axis and Allies game because hey, that's what's so cool about it.
Yeah.
But it had a mechanic, or whatever you want to call it, um, that was really amazing. All of these Civil War games have a problem trying to model, and rightfully so, because hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
You're Lincoln. You're trying to find some generals who aren't buffoons or cowards before Bobby Lee or getting out generaled by him, or you're trying to find Sherman and Grant.
It
And
I could go oh, you almost get me started here. You see it so much on these forums, and you see it on people talk about the Civil War, right? American Civil War, where it's like, well, games and game designers and historians will kind of say, hey, the Confederacy, they started off and with some missteps along the way from the beginning too. They generally had more effective, better commanders. They had more motivated, higher morale soldiers, like to start with. And then eventually the North caught up in pretty much every way and then surpassed them. Always had the industrial base, always had all that.
mhm.
But it took the armies and the leadership to catch up. But people don't like to say, they don't like to even hear such a thing. And it's like, what does it matter? Like,
It's
it is
obvious.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, defend Fremont.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
what are you
go ahead.
talking
He was a buffoon. All right, he's a
like there's,
Missouri.
what I mean? McClellan leading so many, I mean, 100, 200,000 men, quarter million men, and cannot make a move. I saw a thing where someone said, where was it? It was on, must have been on Board Game Geek or something, where someone was like, what if Lee had accepted
Mhm.
Lincoln's request to lead the North, right? The armies of the North. I said, well, the war would have been over in 61. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
what do you mean? You know what I mean? Like, why he would have taken a quarter million men and captured Richmond and been game over. Like, the war ends 4 years early, 3 years early at least 62. I'm like, there's just zero chance, and it's okay to say that and still kind of acknowledge that, like, yeah, but eventually, when Grant and Sherman were rolling, they
yeah.
were a heck of a team,
You
heck of a
probably heard
team.
the thing about when Grant was out west and he drank a lot, and some of the generals are playing political games and
Yeah,
telling Lincoln he drinks too much, and he says, "Well, give the other generals what he's drinking."
yeah, well,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well,
So
and different games cover it different ways. I mean, I've
yep,
seen them where they put them on a schedule, so you're not going to get Sherman and Grant until a certain point.
yep,
And some for the people will have a chip, a chit draw cup, but it's still based on somewhat of a schedule. But you pull them in so you don't know where they're going. You can rearrange them through.
okay,
But I've seen there's a game that made out by Compass by the guy who made Age of Napoleon, and he had like a Grant promotion track. But that made you do silly things like throw guys into suicide missions so you'd have an excuse to sack him and promote Grant to
oh
get him up the
yeah.
promotion.
And
So
it's like it historically happened kind of, but then and I get it, that is like you said, you started off, Judd, perfect. How do you get it so the Union doesn't have their best generals till the second half of the war?
or at
Because if they
least you're
have
trying
them
to
at the
find him.
beginning,
Yeah,
it's
what
going to
if
be game
Grant?
over.
Yeah, I mean, what if Grant was available earlier? Sherman stuff like that. I mean, Sherman
Yeah,
Sherman like drunk himself into a depression because he knew that war was going to go on a long time and nobody wanted to hear it.
yeah,
And but yeah, I mean, theoretically, maybe they could have been early. Lincoln was desperate. Nobody really puts you in the seat of Lincoln of desperately trying to find that general.
I think
This
yeah,
game has done the best job. It's not perfect, but the way they did it was really cool. The way they did it was they have a little placard thing, a little thing with five armies. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Union, and there's decks of cards, and it will tell you who's the general, and it might say Grant, and Axis and Allies +2 on blah 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 attack, and minus certain advantages or disadvantages. But you draw a card at the beginning, face down. You never see it. You place all 5 positions. Okay. Um, each turn, you're going to draw a card, and you're going to either discard it or you're going to place it in one of the other slots. So if it's a face-up guy, you might end up with Fremont and say, "Yeah, let's get rid of that dud."
Yep.
Or you might end up with somebody decent like Rosecrans and say, "Man, I don't really want to get rid of him because this could be Fremont in my hand. This could be Sherman." So, but the thing is, you're like, so how do you flip the cards? You go into battle, and you're thinking, well, why don't I just run in and just attack with everybody,
Yep.
flip them all over, find out the cards? Because the timing mechanism on the game is the number of battles. You fight so many battles, game over.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
So it leaves you guessing on who you want to sack and how much risk you want to take. And I thought that part's really cool. I really like that. I just didn't care for a lot of the axes. Now it's ugly art map. Well,
Sure.
this has had almost 40 years of time behind it.
Well, and the
Uh,
map is already. I mean, it may not be a fancy map, but assuming
yeah,
this is the final map, but it's still. I mean, it looks 10 times better than that other map.
yeah.
So
Suggestions to make it better. There's supposedly a solitaire component in it now.
yeah.
So
Okay.
stuff like that. So I thought, hey, I'm kind of curious to take a look at that one and see what they did with it.
Very nice. Very
So that
nice.
that was that was one I was just kind of wow, that's kind of cool game. I've mentioned it before in other videos or other stuff about that's the one game I've seen that did the best job of making you feel like Lincoln.
Having
But
that, just the
yeah,
search, not just the fact of why do you do this or that. Well, he was looking. I think he was trying. You
yeah,
read a lot of those. See those correspondence and the things letters he was writing, and the talks that he was having behind the scenes. I mean, it was basically, where's my generals? I need a general that'll do something. Well, okay, here's one general that I guess will do kind of, but it was almost he was picking the best of what you got, right? Best of the
hmm
worst. So,
I see a note
um,
about Civil War, and I've heard about the thing about it is you bury bad generals in just bury. Fremont sucks. Bury him out there where he'll never get any action. I don't
yeah,
know. I had the game 3 times, but never actually got to play because I ended up going with U.S. Civil War.
okay,
But and that's just that one just puts you on a schedule and pulls you out when they died or was what never. So
yeah,
everybody tries it, and like the reason I got rid of it was because when it comes to strategic level for the people was so much better, um, and so was um, the House Divided, things like that. They were just overall better games. But I thought
okay,
that had a really cool mechanic part that I really thought was really neat. But the
yeah.
game was the game wasn't a hit at all. I mean, you could buy it for $5 back then.
Oh, all right, cool, cool. No, it looks interesting. So some comments here. Yeah, Bruce, Civil War wise, looking forward to Rebel Tide, which I assume is what's his name? It's Greg Smith's, right? Gregory Smith's game from Compass. And then because I covered back when I covered Compass games on my channel, I covered the Eastern Front one, Oskrieg, which was pretty good. And then Secession 1861, and yep, like you said, Bruce, it is already out, so it's technically a 2025 game, but it definitely is going to be. You're going to see it talked about a lot, and as we're going into 2026, I have that one. I have a full. I've already filmed it, played it. I've filmed my set of videos, my series of videos. So I have a recon, which is my unboxings, right? A playthrough, a complete playthrough, and then a review video coming on Secession 1861 coming on my channel. I'm just going to wrap up my Unconditional Surrender Western Campaign series with my review of that. I think on Monday it should go live. And then about 5 days later, give or take, my Secession 1861 videos will start going live. So I like to space things out instead of cramming it all at once. So look forward to that, Bruce. I know you watch a lot of my videos on my channel, which I sure appreciate. And then Stuka Joe mentioned, yeah, Civil War by Victor Games. So, okay, yeah, no, interesting choice. Good, good, cool, cool. Well, let's take a look at something a little different here. So let's. Dun, 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 of Forlorn Hopes. This one's my choice, so we're gonna alternate back and forth, guys. For those of us tuning in who didn't tune in at the beginning,
Is that
it'll
Chris
be.
Taylor's game?
Nope, this is Herman Lutman.
Okay.
So I'll zoom in on that stuff here, but we're gonna alternate back and forth. So Judd just had a choice. Now I'm gonna have this choice. So a Forlorn Hope. So this is actually so it's Herman Lutman, the evil genius himself. Warfrat Games is gonna be their first release. It's coming this year, 2026. It is a World War One game, and it is based on his Push Your Luck system that I absolutely adore, and specifically in magnificent style, the American Civil War game, originally published by 30 Point Games, and now Worthington with the deluxe edition. And you saw it in what was the World War II one? The
Point de la Hook. I can't speak
Yeah.
The
Um,
Rangers.
but
The Rangers
but
won.
anyway, Forlorn Hope. So this is World War One. There's not. I couldn't find a lot of images on it, unfortunately. So we're not gonna have as much to talk about and look at, unfortunately. But it is basically that same system. So it's a solitaire push your luck system. Although I know it says you can have a couple players. I think it's solitaire design though, right? Push your luck crossing no man's land during World War One, and it's my understanding that Herm he really wanted World War One. Kind of that was the initial topic for this system, and it didn't work out. Maybe didn't have the audience, whatever it was. Publishers weren't interested, and so it ended up being in Magnificent Style. Ended up being the first one in this system. So you guys know I love that game. I talk about it a lot. I won't keep talking about it, but a Forlorn Hope will be coming this year from Warfrat Games, their very first release. So let's see what else people talking about. Let's see. Number Civil War related. Looking forward myself to Berlin, Follow the Reich, 1945 Revolution. You have that's shipping now, so technically a 2025 game, but it is.
It won't arrive till 2026. So there,
Yeah, yeah.
because somebody might have it on his list. I don't. I'm just. I don't know. I'm just
Oh, here we go.
theorizing.
Sequel to Manila Savage Streets, 1945. Yep. So, yep. So the original, it was. I'm blanking today. We talked about some of the other. I'm looking at some of the
Oh,
other games. The Stalingrad
Stalingrad.
one. Yeah, the
If you go
Stalingrad one.
way back, you can do the Peleliu game. That was
Sure, sure. Yep. There was kind of that system was not. It didn't start with the Stalingrad. Let's just say
yeah.
that. And definitely, obviously, it's very central around area impulse in general. Just has a solitaire aspect, but it's very which I've been, well, you too, Judd. We've been playing
Hmm.
area impulse games for years, like way before he started the Sam series, the solitaire area
Uh-huh.
movement series. So, but yeah, I know a lot of people looking forward to that. I'm probably gonna skip it for now. They haven't sent me a review copy, I probably will skip it just because I played the other two and I'm good for now. Doesn't mean I won't. I have nothing against it. I probably will end up playing it. Let's be honest. But just as of right now, I'm not in a hurry to get it. Christoph, anything that VUCA brings out will be my wish list. We'll see what they got. Yeah, I don't know what they have coming. Um, David says Pacific, not specific, Pacific Chase on P500. There may be some GMT games popping up on my list here. World War One games have become popular late, says Roy. Yeah, there's. I've been getting into them. So I covered the uh, um, Caporetto game from Herman Lutman from Hexasim, and they liked what I did when I covered it. Well, that was provided by Herm. He sent me that, so Herman Lutman sent me that one. They liked it, so then they sent me uh, La Dare des Dares, the War to End Wars, which is a grand strategic World War One game. Oops, it's on my shelf right there. I will be covering it on my channel. I think it's the third game coming up here for me, so I haven't filmed those videos yet. I'm not that far ahead, but it is coming for sure. Forlorn Hope is on Backer Kit. You can see some images there. Okay, Bruce. We may circle back to that. I'm not going to worry about it right now, but thanks for that. Herman Lutman is a busy bee, says Christoph. Yes, he's a beast too. He's the man. And Daniel says, what about Field Commander Robert E. Lee? A fantastic game, hopefully in a few weeks to get, despite the long delay from DVG. Yeah, they're supposed to be sending me a review copy, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that's one of those ones that's kind of straddling the 2025 to 2026. Been a long delay, and there may be another Field Commander game on my upcoming list as well. So, all right, enough of that. On to dun, dun, dun. Judd, did you have something?
Yeah.
We're gonna jump into your next choice here.
Yeah. Uh, it's Wilderness, and they got some date on there. Sorry, I can't see. May 5/6.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's part of Worthington's series that they made. The Brigade something series. Started with Antietam. They made 7 Days War, Shiloh, Franklin,
Yep.
something else. Anyways, um, and I've talked about it before. We talked about it in one of the other videos.
Oh yeah.
Just it feels like a nice, simpler upgrade to the Great Battles of the American Civil War series. Units have variable strength as they get worn down. Um, but it's a nice, simple series with like 8 pages of rules,
Yep.
and I like him for the
Ooh.
big battles.
Talk about the wilderness. Look
Yeah,
at all the woods.
yeah.
Good
See,
luck maneuvering through there.
I had no at the time. I had no Antietam games,
Okay.
so I just wanted one, big battle, the bloodiest day of the war. I wanted a big battle. I had some memoirs. I mean, sorry, battle cry scenarios, but I wanted a game on it, and this hit it well. So, I didn't get their Gettysburg game because I have tons of Gettysburg games. So, I'm happy with. But when I saw this, I go, I don't have any Wilderness War games. I had that wilderness thing that Victory Games put out years ago, but it was kind of more of a campaign level.
Hmm.
And I saw that and I go, hey, I'll take a look at it. Curious to see how that is. I'm not sure I'm going to get it, but I'll take a look and see what it has to offer. So,
All right. Yeah.
I've
No.
so
I
far been
mean,
happy with what I played in the series. My two
oh
games.
yeah, Civil War Brigade Battle Series is the name. Flows right off the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
It's here's the deal. It's a really good hex encounter series, like you said. Simple. I mean, I played my share. I love them. I'm looking forward to it. I think they've sent me all their games. So I expect I'll probably get a copy of Wilderness. We'll see though. I don't know when it's coming specifically. I know that my favorite has got to be Franklin. I think I mentioned that before. I think Frank because it's got a little bit of this. I did like the smaller map, so it didn't have the full, like 24 by 36 or whatever, 24 by 34, whatever the full size map is. It does have a slightly smaller one, which I really liked. Counters can get a little fiddly with the adjusting the strength points on them. Between all when you have 2 dozen counters and you're adjusting all of them, it can get a little fiddly. But that's the worst. I'll take it. And I wish I had maybe a little bit more of a solitaire component. Yeah, we talked about it because I talked about how I wrote some crappy chit draw rules for it, I think, and then put them on Board Game Geek on like one of the first games of the release in the series. And yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing something like that come just to make it a little more solo friendly. But it still works just fine solo because there's no hidden information, like you
Mm-hmm.
said. It's just and it's a very simple system. So sometimes those simple I go, you go hex encounters are the ones that are easiest to play solitaire, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
um, let's see, was it Nick? Is that Nick? Are you Quaylet Bird? Nick? Is that Nick? Is that why you put your name there, or is that from someone named Nick? Company that is Persona non grata is an interesting game trend trade. Well, it's Compass. They're fine. I just don't cover them on my channel. For if you've been around, you've seen all my old stuff, you understand the reason. No big deal, but that's all right. Judd plays Compass, and so he'll cover the Compass games for you guys. And Daniel says, also enjoy a lot of the series from Worthington, Judd. I played Gettysburg, Four People Dividing Cores, and it was a fantastic beast. Oh, jeez. You played it yet? I haven't played the Gettysburg one.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah,
I kind of
so
settled in on when I want a big Gettysburg game to cover the whole thing. I went with the
the most,
most
most
fearful
fearful sacrifice. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
a
scratched
beast.
my itch.
It's beautiful. It plays great solo with the card draw for the random activation. You gotta love it. So okay, good choice. Good choice. All right, what are we on to now? Oh, speaking of Field Commander, dun dun dun. Boom, Field Commander Patton. So, and Vince, I see you in the chat. I see you in the chat. Field Commander Lee, I get it. It's like I said, it straddles 2025, 2026. So I didn't include it, but I am very much looking forward to Field Commander Lee. I'm not just saying that because you're here. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on a copy and checking that out. But kind of focusing on a little bit more longer, a little bit farther away than just like shipping right now. For me, right this second, Field Commander Patton. So I and Field Commander Lee looks good. It looks big and complex. Maybe not complex may not be the right word, but a lot there. It looks like there's a lot in that box. Sometimes that can be a little overwhelming for people, me included. And I play more than my share of games, solitaire games, two-player games, whatever. Sometimes I get a little overwhelmed when you open a box and it's this thick, and it's just like there's 50 things going on, and 10 counter sheets, and it's like that's just a lot. Where do I even start? And you just feel overwhelmed. I hope that Field Commander Patton it looks a little bit smaller to get started, including like Field Commander Napoleon was another big one like that, big hefty one. So I'm looking forward to kind of seeing. And I don't think he had. Yeah, unfortunately, some of these games is I don't know. By the way, heads up, this is one of those things where I would love to see. What am I thinking? I would love to see. Which I think we've done Kickstarter too. Kickstarter. We're going to Kickstarter. We're taking a little trip, guys. Taking a little trip on Kickstarter. I'd love to see wargame companies do a better job with social media, sharing images, sharing information on their games, because they don't do a good enough job, is my opinion. Eurogames or not just Eurogames, but Ameritrash board games, the general hobby board games, they do such a great job showing trailers and pictures and videos. They send out review copies early to people. So you have a dozen content creators sharing videos of games before they're even on crowdfunding or being released, which I love because that gives people more information. But anyway, you can see a little bit of the details on it here. I mean, you don't need to read everything. It's kind of small text, but it does look it looks, what I wanted to say was I really enjoyed Rommel. You know what I mean? I loved Alexander and I loved Rommel. The series has definitely gone bigger and more complex and just heftier. I'd like to see it maybe take a step back. and just kind of get back to what DVG is really good at, which is a little bit lighter, I would say. More of the action, as we always talk about with Warfighter, action movie versus simulation. But anyway, Patton, who doesn't love Patton, right? You gotta love Patton. Field Commander games, love them. So looking forward to Field Commander Patton, and just hopefully that comes out. I think any of the expansions, this one is I backed myself, as you guys can see. Back to here. Looking forward to, or wherever, back down here. Yeah, just a core game too. But I see they have Normandy, North Africa, Invasion of Germany as expansions. So, and then some other ones as well. So, yeah, Field Commander Patton from DVG. Judd, I gotta have some DVG games on my list, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have some DVG games on my list. I can. So, all right.
Okay.
Let's see. And just what do we got? Some comments here. Vince, LOL, no worries, mate. Lee for the win. Yeah, looking forward to it for sure, Vince. I know they were getting out copies, so I'm not worried about it, but I'm sure I'll get my hands on a copy soon. Charles, waiting on Wilderness. Have all the other Worthington series. Just need to play 7 days. Yeah, it's a good series. I mean, load up. Why not?
7 days is my first one into it.
And I love the big mounted maps. I love the big pure rounded counters. Worthington's components at this point. Every game they release is just a gorgeous production, high quality counters. Who doesn't like playing with bigger counters on a, you know what I mean? Like, I just got done playing Unconditional Surrender, Western Campaigns, which has half-inch counters and the old school style. I mean, clearly games still releasing that style, but half-inch on a sprue, cutting them out. I'm clipping them. I'm clipping the corners. It is what it is. I love my we talked about. I love my Great Battles of History. Oh, by the way, I got a standing desk. Judd sold me on one. I mean, I don't think I have his one. I think I have a smaller one, but it's standing. It can plug in, go up and down. But and I got a non-war game on there now. I got an old school dungeon crawl Ameritrash style game, Return of the Heroes, that I was just getting set up trying to play last night. And setup took 45 minutes, and I'm still not ready to play. And I love it. You gotta love these old Ameritrash from like 1996, so it's like semi old school Ameritrash. But anyway,
those are good. The stand-up tables are really good to set up like a Command and Colors or a Brand Brothers, something with a lot of scenarios. And you say, man, I want to play them all, but after I play a couple, I want to move on to this game.
Yep.
Well, you can leave it on there and just play your scenarios and take your time, and while you have your other table for your other stuff.
Exactly. That's why I did this. So like you guys can't see it, but over there is my like studio setup where I have my cameras all set up and all the lights, everything, and that's my like main play area. Well, that's where I do my videos. That's where I do my main wargaming play. Well, now I've wanted to play either other war games at the same time that I'm working on ones for the channel or just bigger ones. But then also I want to have something for non-war games because I do like non-war games too. Ding ding, surprise surprise. And so now I have that space. And this was all Judd's idea of him when he told me he had one. He had a stand-up desk and he had other stuff on there, or like you said, scenario-based stuff where you want to play it for a while, but you do want to play other games in the meantime. I was like, that's genius. So I'm gonna get one for my little room here, my little man cave. It fits because it's a smaller desk, and then I actually got like a poster board on top, so then I can have it even be bigger, and I can lift that off too. So I got the man cave all set up. So, all right, what do we got here? So Nick says my credit card starts to vibrate when you mention Kickstarter or GameFound. Yeah, I have more than my share backed on both of war games and non-war games. Charles says had issues with Kickstarter, won't buy through them. I mean, it's Kickstarters. I've probably lost money, as in didn't get a product on 1 or 2 Kickstarters out of probably 50. I'm not saying that that's good. It should be 0, but that is part of Kickstarter, is that there's a chance you're not going to get what you want. But to be fair, it hasn't been from any of the major players. It wasn't from DVG. It wasn't from Compass. It wasn't from, whatever. It was from like a publisher who created, like, one was Buddy Cop. It was a solo cop game, solo/co-op, and they basically took their $50 and ran. So Christoph says I'm real old school. It's in the shop. I buy. Yeah, no, I hear you. Daniel says, Wayne, as you like Field Commander series as I do, which person not depicted already in this series would be your wish to be on? Ooh, good question. Who would be good in a Field Commander game? That's an interesting question I'd think on that one, Daniel. I'd think on that one. I mean, there's so many great. Okay, how about this? Julius Caesar, right? Roman Empire style, Roman Republic, whatever. Roman times. You've got Field, and bring it back a little bit more like Field Commander Alexander. Maybe a little bit more in depth than that, but maybe not the bigger box. And again, nothing wrong with these bigger boxes. I don't think Field Commander Patton's going to be a super small box either, by the way. But just maybe bring it back a little bit to that Alexander Rama style of system. Maybe a little heavier than that. Oh, Julius Caesar. Boom. Make it done. Daniel, you start work on that, buddy. I will promote the crap out of that on my channel. All right, okay. All right, moving on. So let's see, we just did Patton here. So what do we got now? We got another back to the American Civil War for you.
Yep.
That looks like.
Yep.
Dun dun dun. Army of the Potomac.
Yeah. The so I had, I have Gettysburg and
Who's the designer of this? I think I've heard of him before.
the great one. I had Gettysburg and at the Waterloo, and just over Christmas break, I got the Rebel is Rebel Yells is the name of it? Sorry,
Rebel Fury.
Rebel Fury. Thank you.
Yep.
Well, when I first played the game, I kept thinking maybe I'm missing something with this artillery duel because it seems like I need to play another player because I'm not getting it because if you remember, when you move within 2 hexes of an enemy unit, you have to flip the counter over and he moves from 4 to 1.
Yep.
Well, as long as I kept another unit between the two of them so he wouldn't get stuck, as the Confederates, I just say, well, I'll wait till the Union runs out of moves and get my die roll and my extra moves. I'll move him 1 hex away, flip him back to his 4 side, then have him run around the end. And I put the Union in this position of they were running for the lives trying to cover the holes. And I go, I'm missing something here. Mark Herman wouldn't do this.
Yep.
And well, what the problem is once you flip to 1, you don't flip back to 4 for the rest of the turn. I didn't know that until I was playing it on the computer and it enforced the rules.
It enforced the rules, right? Yep.
Yeah. And then I go, whoa, this is a whole different game. I'm liking this. Well, I got Waterloo up there now, and then I'm going to do this. And so now I was like, okay, I want to take a look at this. I mean, when Mark Herman sent me the Vassal thing, it's going to take, I've been down under the weather a bit lately, so take me a bit to get the Vassal thing going again. I mean, I don't know how much there is, if it's a completely developed Vassal module or, the rules or whatever. So it'll take me a little bit to get to that, but yeah, I'm really interested in this. So that's the reason why, because of everything. I don't know how much different it's going to be than Rebel Furies, but
yeah,
it sounds like a lot of game in there for the money.
Yep. So I do have I have the Gettysburg Deluxe Edition or whatever, and then I have Rebel Fury. I have Rebel Fury on Steam. So play, like you just said, playing it. I played through one scenario. I did find that I think on the computer more suited for solitaire play. I just feel like, and we had a discussion previously, and the great one himself, Mark Herman, he was in our chat. He's been in our chat on and off, which is amazing that he comes in. So very cool. But if you watch, and last time I think he missed the live show, but he commented on it after the fact, I think. Anyway, so he may see this eventually. But I just feel like as of now, I'm not saying my ideas or my thoughts can't change, because they certainly do at times. But that series, that Civil War Heritage series, whatever you want to call it, just feels like such a 2-player style series. I know it's solo capable. I know there's solo aspects. He's talked about some of the scenarios. He was like, Wayne, there's some of the scenarios are basically designed for solo play. Just the way the system is with that movement, the flipping, the hidden artillery. I mean, it's not a negative to say it doesn't really seem super solo friendly. That's not a negative. There's a lot of games that are designed for 2-player that are good for 2-player. Then those are those things, right? Those like reactionary. So like think of a little tangent. Think of a tactical game that has op fire. I mean, that's op fire is such a that's such a 2-player aspect. Or if you're playing it on the computer, the system handles it, right? But like, so hard single player to do, at least for me, to do op fire. Like, I play a lot of 2-player games solo. We just talked about the Worthington's American Civil War games. Those are I go, you go 2-player. I play them solo. But when you start having these like hidden things, you got op fire, reactionary stuff, card play. To me, in my mind, it starts saying, okay, you are just one person. I struggle. That's on me though. That's me too, right? So, not that I will never change my mind. I'll never try it on the table a lot. But as of now, I actually canceled my P500 of Army of the Potomac just because of that. I'm like, do I really need to own this game if I'm not going to play it myself? I'll just get the one on Steam, like Rebel Fury. I want to play that more on Steam. So Army of the Potomac, I assume it'll come to Steam probably. Hopefully it does. I'll play it on there because I got to play more Rebel Fury. So
Yeah. The nice thing on Steam is if you try to get somebody in a Vassal and they never played it, there's always this, I don't know, that's computer stuff and I got to install stuff. And,
yeah,
I've made PDFs trying to show people, okay, it's pretty easy.
yeah,
Install one program, then you take the modules and then
boom,
you got your
yeah.
whole network. Okay, I want to play Washington's War, double click it and you're ready to go.
There you go.
But, but hey, I was hesitant myself. It wasn't until a friend of mine said, "Hey, let's play Washington's War." And it's like I'll do anything to play Washington's War. So, but the nice thing on Steam is, you got the program; it's all there.
Yeah,
They've got the instructions, they've got
yeah,
demos, everything on there. So it's a lot easier to probably find opponents. You can play by email if you want. You make your play, and then it sends them a thing saying, "Hey, it's your turn." It's nice
yeah.
that it nags you that way. Hey, your turn. He's already moved, or you can get
Yeah,
on
you
there
go. Come on.
or you can get on there and play live, or a combination of the two.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that gives you a lot of flexibility. So yeah, it's a lot easier. Even if it's a little two-player, you can find if it's a popular game and it's fairly new, you can probably find opponents easier.
Yeah. Hey, Army of the Potomac popular series so far. Clearly, this is now the third. Well, as it says, volume two. But again, that Gettysburg one was,
Hmm.
really part of the series. So whatever. But that's them,
Technically,
them to decide.
probably technically it was under RBM Studios, and this was
Yeah. So maybe
GMT.
they can't legally use it or whatever. But anyway, so comments here. I did notice. I saw a little from Daniel. There's a rumor Julius Caesar is in progress, and Vince says, "Who told you?" with a winky face. So Vince, who Vincent Cooper, designed many different games. In fact, may have a game coming up here on my most anticipated list, and that's not Field Commander Lee. Again, because that one's kind of shipping, so I didn't include that. But Julius Caesar, Vince, you do it right, buddy. You got my Mega by backing 110%. So, all right. Charles says Rebel Fury restarted Fredericksburg 3 times. Need to break out again before I jump on Army of the Potomac. Yep, I gotta get the. I just gotta get on Steam and just play Rebel Fury some more. And then Bruce says Steam has their winter sale on now. Oh, is that on right now? Lots of good games on discount. Yeah, check it out. I don't know. I've not looked through specifically what they have for GMT's games and all that stuff, but definitely check that out, guys. There's some good games on there. All right. So next up, and this one I don't have a page for, but I do have a. I have a page for on Facebook, a Facebook post from the designer. That's right. I can't believe it took this long. R. Ben Madison is now making an appearance. La Conquest, however you would say it. The French and Indian War, 1754 to 1763. 2026 release, designed by R. Ben Madison. I cannot wait. I am pumped. R. Ben Madison, first off, he was asking for feedback on the map. I think it looks great. Some people were saying, kind of talking some trash on it. I don't know what they're saying. Have you seen some of the maps he's released games on before? They look like trash. This game looks
Yeah,
good
the
already.
the white the white tribe especially.
Yes, it's a terrible map. Sorry, Ben. It is great game. Actually, surprisingly good. I think a little underrated. I think people don't really they're a little touchy on the
Yeah.
subject, so they're like, oh, I don't know about this. It's a good game. It's a good game. Trust me. But anyway, look, French and Indian War, Solitaire, Ben Madison. Need I say more? Very interested, and it looks to kind of. And again, I'm not saying you can't have people are going to think, oh, not only is Wayne Colt to the new, he don't like any complex games. He only plays light games. Well, that's not true, but I will say that sometimes I feel like the designers and some of these games they can be a little complex for complexity's sake, bulky for bulky's sake. I love Global War. I do love it, but I'll be honest. I talked about it already. I've covered it on my channel. Super popular videos of mine. But I don't find myself really wanting to bust it out that much because it is a long game.
True.
I don't know anything about this one yet, but looking at it, it doesn't look like it's gonna be as big and complex. Could be my famous last words. It could be eating those words later this year when it's released, and I'm like, oh no, it's another 6 hour, 4 to 6 hour game from Ben Madison. Nothing wrong with that. Again, could still be a wonderful game. I hope it just looks to me like it may be a little bit shorter, although it does have 27 turns, so maybe it is going to be a long one. But regardless, as long as it's not too crunchy, too complex, too. By the way, 27 turns could be okay if the turns resolve quickly and there's not a lot of a lot of modifiers, a lot of little things you got to check in the rule book. If it flows like a lot of his games do, I'm really looking forward to this one. So, Judd, I don't know if you had seen this one at all.
When I went to bed last night, I thought I forgot to go onto the games that been Madison on Facebook and see if he has any games coming out. Because if he
Yep.
does, I'm a couple of games behind on him already. I haven't got his last two. I've been, catching up. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I thought if he has anything, I should have checked it out. It's like, Wayne will probably cover it.
You know it, buddy. It's either me or you or both of us. So, oh no, I'm super. I can't. I can't tell you how excited I am about this. And it's funny because it's not. I'm not gonna say the French Indian War is something that I've had even a ton of history with gaming. I haven't. I know you have. I haven't.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's always been one that's interested me. I think it's because it is, North America, pre United States, but like United States style, like just very much in that pre-American history and early American history. And I definitely think that I want to learn more. And a game is out for me. A game is always a great way for me to learn more. Just like right now, I'm on World War One. I'm reading this World War One book, A World Undone, epic book that's like huge, and there's so much detail. I'm learning so much about World War One that I didn't even know, and some of this, and it's just sort of reminders too of the mass casualty events. You're having these battles happen in World War One. 1914 starts off, and you have a million casualties within 2 months. It's like what? Like crazy stuff. So right now I'm doing that in World War One, and then all these awesome World War One games coming out. Well, now something like this for me could be a good French and Indian War. Really get into the conflict. So
Yeah,
that
the other thing is that if it's a state of siege game, which I'm thinking will be,
let's
uh,
see.
it'd be nice because I don't think Wilderness Empire was ever quite fully developed. The problem with the generals I spoke of that one time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess it looks right. Everything leads to what Montreal looks like,
Yeah,
or
it's probably
looks like everything leads to Montreal.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yep. Okay, so that probably stays a siege style. So no, absolutely. France is winning. France is. I don't know. It looks good. I can't wait. I think the map looks great too already. Like I'm sure there'll be some adjustments, but I think it looks good. The point to point, everything looks clear. But then the map behind it, you see just kind of the very wilderness, right? Woods, very this untamed North America for the most part. I mean, we were starting to tame it, but very untamed. So anyway, La Conquest for the French Indian War, 1754 to 1763, from R. Ben Madison and White Dog Games. Can't wait. Judd, we got one. This is a dual one. Now, you said it, but we're talking about a Herman Luttman design, right? You ready?
Yes.
Let's bring it up. This
Um,
is
it's out of reach. I grabbed my old one, but I got a dog in my lap. So
boom, Dawn of the Zeds designer edition from Herman
yeah.
Luttman and Blue Panther. This is on my list too, so we'll just talk about it together. You go first, though.
Okay. When that came out, I was kind of like, I already have a second edition that I think is like one of the three greatest solitaire games ever made. I stayed away from the third, but I was always happy with the second. And I thought, I'm not sure I really need this one.
Dawn of the
But as
Zeds
time went,
1 from VPG, Dawn of the Zeds
yeah.
2nd edition VPG, and then Dawn of the Zeds 3rd edition, also VPG.
Which that's really most of the stuff's Alan Emmerich stuff in there.
It got to be too much. Dawn
Yeah.
of the 3rd edition. We
And when I
talked about
thought
this
of
already.
Yeah, when
Yep.
I thought about it and him simplifying, I thought, as much as I like Dawn of the Zeds, I only play it about every 12 to 18 months. And the reason why is it's too big.
It gives
And
me
you
too
can
much
it's
as a
just
solitaire
you
game.
you can kind of sense the Alan Emmerich influence, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
He's a great developer. But there's something when I did Hands in the Sea with Daniel Berger, Dan the Man, I was reading Goldsworthy's book on the Punic Wars. And, I knew that game, second only to Dan on the entire earth, all the stuff he was doing. So it was all easy. I had incorporated it all. So I was like, hey, we should add this. We should add this. We should add this. It's almost like Richard Berg Chrome, I was wanting. Well, Dan had the bigger picture. He's a little way smarter at this design stuff than I'll ever be. He's like, he had the keep it simple, stupid principle because he knew there were going to be a lot of Eurogamers coming over from the few acres of snow.
Yep.
And it was already going to be quite a bit what he was adding. So the only thing of mine that actually got in the game, one of my all my crazy ideas was when I was reading about Hannibal the Rhodian. I said, dude, we got to get him in. Strategy card, do this, do this. And he goes, I think that'll work. So he had one strategy card for Hannibal the Rhodian in there. So I don't think it says that, but it's like seamanship card.
No.
But but it's this problem you see where playtesters know the game so well they don't
Yes.
see scope creep,
Yes.
and I think it just
Designers as well.
Yeah, but I think
Designers,
it
they
just
can't
felt
be
like,
the
yeah, it almost felt like Herman had, I mean, not Herman, that Emmerich had that scope creep going on. And he tried to do stuff where, like, he put moon crescents and symbols, and if it adds this symbol on the card and the counters, it's for this scenario, and this. I always ended up playing the easier scenario because, not the introductory one, but the other one, because the other one had just added too much stuff, too much rules looking. The only
yeah,
thing about Herman is he doesn't put indexes in his rule books a lot of times, almost all the time, and they need them. And it
yeah,
was just constantly digging through that rule book trying to find these rules. And, the phrase is juice ain't worth the squeeze. So I thought,
yeah.
Herman's taking it back. Herman Lutman got a good sense for this stuff. I think he pulls it back a little bit. This is going to be one of those games that hit my table a lot more often.
Yeah. No, I'm basically back up pretty much everything you've said. I enjoyed Dawn of the Zeds. Third edition, I sold my copy. It was too much. It wasn't a bad game. It just was too much for me to casually pick up and play. And when things get too fiddly, you have feature creep, you got bloat, you got whatever it is, right? It's just scope. There's just too much going on, and it's like too much variety, and it's like, well, variety's a good thing in games, yeah, to a degree, but
Yeah.
somebody's like, okay, this is a lot, and when it gets to be that chore, well, then it's not fun, and I don't even want to experience. It's not a good experience for me. So I'm really looking forward. What I've seen, everything I've seen so far, Dawn of the Zeds Designer Edition. I've chatted with Herm a little bit. I don't do. Like I said before, I did a little bit of playtesting previously with a Blind Swords game, and then a couple other games, and then I'm done with that. I'm done with that for years. So I'm not interested. I haven't done any playtesting of it, but I've talked with him about it. I cannot wait for this one. I think it's going to be the definitive edition. It's designer edition. Right? It's kind of the point, right? I think it is going to be, from what I've heard. We'll see, but I think it's going to be the definitive edition of this series, and I think it's going to play well. It's going to play fast. Plus, here's that's badass sheriff here. I like that.
Hmm.
I love the artwork on it. Artwork looks good. It's not really like I did have a map graphic somewhere. It wasn't on Board Game Geek clear. I thought it was, so can't see that. But there was a map graphic, and it looked so much cleaner than what we just saw with third edition. So you guys yourselves look it up. But Dawn of the Zeds Designer Edition from Herm, Blue Panther. So the Blue Panther themselves, who you got most of you guys probably know, they publish games, they print games for White Dog Games, Hollandspiel, etc. But then they now have been, for a little while now, also actually publishing, so physically printing, but also publishing their own games with other designers and whatever. So make sure to check out, I think Warfrat Games may be one too from them, but I don't know, don't quote me on that. But anyway, Dawn of the Zeds Designer Edition, me and Judd, we're looking forward to it. Herm, if you see this, I'm looking forward to it. You know that, buddy. This is probably one of the. I try not to bug him. He's Herman Lutman. He's a really good guy. So outside of the games, he's messaged me before. He's chatted with me, talked about stuff with the family stuff and everything like that. So, when it comes to my son, with everything he's been through medically, and Judd, you're well aware. We all have lives and we all have stuff that happens in our lives. But he's checked in with me about my son, which I really really appreciate. I think he's a good guy. But so I try not to bug him too much and be like, hey, what are you working on? Hey, can I get a copy? Hey, can I do this and this? But this is one I did message him a little bit, and I was like, hey, so that designer edition, how's that coming along? Well, it looks pretty good. What do we got here? And so I just couldn't help myself. So Dawn of the Zeds, we're both looking forward to that one. So what do we got here? So I see, so Bruce, so going back to Ben Madison. Ben Madison is moving a bit toward more playable games. I have Black Skin, Black Shirt on Ethiopia 1936, that plays quicker than his other games. Okay, good to hear, And I'm hoping with La Conquest, that'll be part of it. It'll kind of just a little bit more playable, a little more quick playing, that type of thing. Nothing wrong with Global War, clearly. Super popular, super good game, but a little bit big to just throw on the table casually. Zuka Joe, I loved all editions of Zeds. Picking up this one as well. Yeah, it's me and Judd, we're gonna have to fight us for first in line because we're looking forward to this one. Carbo Commander, Jerry, happy Saturday, everyone. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you in the chat. So, we get some good games so far, but guess what? We're not even done yet. So, Dawn of the Zed. So, what do you want to do? So, I have one to cover that's not a war game, Ameritrash style.
Same here.
Okay.
So
You want me to go first? You want to go first?
I'll grab it. A second. Let me sit my dog down. My vicious attack dog had to come up and get some petting too. Okay.
Oh, Jealous of the cat.
Yes. Oh my goodness, the jealousy's off the charts. Um, so yeah, the my next one is Army of Darkness, and
I love it. I love that
yeah,
movie. It's older now, I guess, but man, I remember back in the day, I loved that movie.
oh yeah,
Army of
and
Darkness, the board. Look, call me Ash. Look at that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's my boomstick. You know, that's the.
That's my boomstick.
So yeah, that's Ameritrash through and through.
Oh, look at this Ameritrash. Look at this. Hey, look at it. And I'm not even talking trash because I literally have some Ameritrash games on my list. Look at this Ameritrash board right here. I love this look.
Oh yeah, and they have an expansion with a bunch of miniatures. If you don't want to use the cardboard pieces, so
Oh, so what I got? Oh, so there's miniatures, or you can do what, like little standees,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah. And I was gonna. I think it's coming out in March.
I was
They had
wondering
a.
when I
They had
saw
a.
this from you, I was like, wait a second, this looks interesting. When does this come out?
Yeah, they had a pre-order sale going. I don't know if they still do or not. So I was gonna order it in October as my reward for seeing my skin go the right way on the cancer thing, and I was
Awesome.
being really optimistic because everybody told me, 4 to 6 months to see start seeing results, and I was
Yeah.
into month two. But I was feeling so great. I thought maybe I'm ahead of the curve, and it didn't go the way I wanted it. So I said, I'll wait.
Yep.
But I thought, hey, man, I got a game coming up in February. Maybe if that thing flips, I might jump all over this thing real quick. Because it's a tower defense game, and Aaron's already said I'll play with you, and it's co-op, so it'll solo. So, but I mean, just the fact it's Evil Dead, Army of Darkness. It's all Bruce Campbell goodness. It's
Oh, it
what more
is
could you
tower
ask for?
defense style
Yeah.
because you got your castle in the middle,
Hmm.
and then which I mean, well, obviously we've all seen the movie. If you haven't seen it, whoever's watching, go watch the movie sometime. It's corny, but in the best way possible. So like, don't be. It's not a serious movie.
And
This
you
is the
don't really
first.
need to see the Evil Dead one or two
No,
to
don't. Those are
understand
like
it.
real horror movies. This is like
It'll
corny,
the
fun
end of
horror.
two leads into this one
Yeah,
because I saw this
technically.
first, but yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, look at it. But yeah, you can see they're coming in from the outside the staging area,
Yep.
approaching, and then you'll be fighting them as they come on in. Oh, that's cool.
Oh
I want to
yeah.
know solos.
Well,
Huh.
it's cooperative, so usually
Well,
cooperative.
definitely, yeah. Those are usually pretty solo friendly. So interesting. I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna look for. I'm checking out. That one's one I'm gonna explore more. So thanks for sharing that one, Judd. That's
Sure.
Army of Darkness. Cool. Let's see. So we got here. So Daniel says, any updates on the designer edition from Dawn of the Zeds from previous versions? So I don't have a list in front of me, but I do know, Daniel, that he's removing some of the features. He's simplifying combat, changed quite a bit.
Yeah, the combat was not smooth in that game.
Yeah, I think it does look a little smoother. I did see, uh, I think was it David Kennedy who was maybe doing some stuff on it. I don't know if he's been play testing it or what. I think he had some stuff on his SOS bunker, States of Siege bunker website blog. So check that out. Just Google it. I don't have a link. Just Google it. And then but it looks like a simpler change combat, remove some of those bloated extra features, and just bring it maybe more into quicker, faster, playable format. So we'll see, but I'm looking forward to it. And Army of Darkness is a really fun film. Yeah, it is. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's a blast. That's one like popcorn flick, have some fun, and then play this game. Jerry says, not my thing, but the components look amazing. Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure we're going to cover some other games too that aren't your thing. But that's okay. You know what? Here's the deal. Everyone has various interests. I was a board gamer in the sense of I played regular board games and like clearly all the family ones, but like I started getting into those like hobby slash Ameritrash board games around the same time I got into Dungeons and Dragons when I was 10 years old. And so I've been playing D&D and Ameritrash style games and and fantasy games, fantasy board games for years before I ever played war games. For me, I know everyone's different. That was for me. I didn't get into war, and I did always love actually history and war, but I just never got into really war gaming. It wasn't around me where I grew up, so I just never got into it. So until later on. But which speaking of fantasy games, this is a game that I cannot wait for. So I will show you the. Hang on, let me. Aventuria, Chalices of Power. So this is a through and through Ameritrash slash It's actually from Germany, but it's a card game, and this picture does not do it justice, but this is a card game. I have I got into Aventuria adventure card game. This to me this is a lot like this is like D&D on D&D with cards, and it solos really well. It's a solo play kind of setup on the Aventuria adventure card game, and there's D20s involved. Right there. D20 sold. You got me. I feel like I'm playing D&D already. Old school fantasy, high fantasy style. You're going on quests, you're going on adventures. Your character, it's kind of like deck building. So you'll have a deck of cards for your character, and as you go on adventures and your character levels up, you get additional cards, you get treasures, you get to add them to your deck of cards, and then you're going to be drawing them out in your hand. And on your hand, you're going to be able to you're going to basically going to play cards down like you're putting them up for like Magic Gathering, like mana to tap them. They're called endurance, and then you tap them these endurance cards, which cards come out of your hand, and then you play them. The cards you can pay the cost for. What that means though then is when you get your hands of cards and you're drawing cards, you have to decide from you're looking at your cards and you got 6 cards in your hand. You're like, I love all of these, but you need to put some down as endurance. You can't just you can't play them all. You're going to have some as endurance. So what you're doing is you're having to make those choices on what you're going to lose, what you're going to keep, what you're going to play with. You can technically rotate them out, but it does kind of make that change. There's a bad guy, strong mummy. But anyway, Aventuria adventure card game. Then I backed on GameFound the re-release of it. So basically, it's Aventuria 2.0. So there's Chalices of Power campaign box, which is this epic. See, well, like I said, it's originally German. Chalices of Power. Look at that cover. Look at this. Spells, warriors, dwarf fighting over here. This is like D&D the board game, or D&D the card game. Again, it's actually a card game. I backed it. So I did. So to tell you guys, so I know, and here's the deal. There's also, I know I'm getting all excited. I'm thinking, I cannot wait for this to arrive. I think it's going to arrive in the next couple months. I cannot wait. But where is, oh no, there is, to show you guys, there's supposed to be I know. Sorry, guys. No, that's not it. Whatever. There's also, so this is it's 1 to 6 players, and then there is also a solo box with this GameFound campaign. There was also a whole like dedicated solo, but you can play it solo. You can play, what I like to do though, I don't just play one character, because if you play one hero, it's a little tougher. So I play 2, but it's super easy. I mean, I just set it up here. You have your couple hands of cards, couple characters, you're good to go. And you can play it two-handed or whatever. But there's going to be a solo campaign also being released. That's a separate box that is it's solo directly. So to talk about cost for a second, because us war gamers, or you guys playing war games, we complain about cost all the time. Price of game. I can't believe this game's $50-$60. This is ridiculous. Yeah, okay, I get it. No matter what, here's the deal. Everything costs money nowadays. Some things cost more than others. I backed all in 2 boxes of this Chalices of Power, along with the solo game, along with a couple neoprene mats, and then I think like a bonus neoprene mat set for your character cards, your hero cards. Anyway, it was in euros, but I did the math for you guys already, about $350. Go all in on this. So I'm not saying you can't complain about a war game that costs $80 or even $100. Feel free. Hey, it's a free country, free world. Hopefully, should be. Complain about what you want. But if you want to play some games, you want to spend some money, get into some Ameritrash, get into some card games, get into some big board games. You're going to spend, not every game is $350 for everything. This also is like literally going to be hundreds of hours of entertainment, hundreds of hours of gameplay. I'm going to have that thing set up on my little table here, and I'm going to be playing it for months, if not years. But anyway, Aventuria is the game system. Chalices of Power, that's kind of the name of this box set. Really, it's Aventuria as a game system. It comes out of Germany, but it's pure Ameritrash, Dungeons and Dragons in card form. So,
Yeah, I think when
can't wait for this one.
I think when shipping was done, my Cthulhu Death May Die Fear of the Unknown set was about 500. I
Yep.
said I went insane with Cthulhu, which there's a joke in there
Yeah.
because insanity. But yeah, I mean that big statue that's invading Christmas Village was like 130.
Yep.
So But
Yep,
yeah, they
absolutely.
made
And
expansions and boxes and
yeah,
everything.
that's all, and that's what it is, right? The base game by itself. This is I mean, this was. I mean, who knows, $80 or something. But the fact I added another expansion, or and then neoprene mats, and then whatever. Like suddenly, next thing you know, it's $350
Yeah.
American. So
But
oh
my
well.
far most expensive game system is Memoir. When you add up all the
Oh well,
pieces to it, oh
well, yeah.
yeah.
Think about that. If you think of all the expansions and everything,
Oh
right?
yeah. I think I'm up to 1,000 on it.
I can only
And I'm
imagine
I'm
that
I'm
much.
missing a
So.
couple things from it. But yeah, on Command and Colors, Napoleonics, Ancients, I got some money tied up in those games. So
All right, what do we got for comment? Well, and what's funny is we got, geez, only one new comment here. We have 33 people watching. We're kicking butt with viewers. Where is everybody? Chime in. Tell us what you're looking forward to in 2026. We'll chit chat along the way here as we get excited and cover our games.
okay.
And I know, and there he is, Mark Herman. We were talking about you earlier, Mark. Your ears must have been burning. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you, Mark. Glad to see you in the chat as always. Jerry says, I was at a cafe this week and I saw a game called Galactic Cruise. It looks amazing. Nice looking Euro game. Yep. So I've been watching, I've been watching it for years and years, but the Dice Tower and their YouTube channel, and they'll cover war games sort of here and there, the lighter ones usually. But they cover obviously the majority is just hobby games, Euro games, Ameritrash style. And Galactic Cruise is like this current super popular, super epic giant game. Probably not something I'd get solitaire, but definitely looks interesting if you're into that. And the theme looks pretty cool too. So, all right. So this next one
I'm gonna
is
I'm gonna skip my one that I had on there that you said is already out.
yeah.
So
Okay.
because I realized as we were shooting this, oh my goodness, I forgot to go to GMT and look at what they had, and there's one. It's on my
Uh,
pre-order list. I've been waiting 5 years for it, but it's
okay.
actually coming. So it's
Which
Command and
game is
Color,
that?
Command and Colors Napoleonics expansion number 7. So it's
Let's
called.
see. I bet I
I
can
think
pull it
it's
up.
called the Grand Battles.
Oh, yep.
So yes, that was
Boom.
yeah. So back in 2020, when COVID hit, and I decided to start playing all of those scenarios in chronological order and learn about the Napoleonic Wars. I got pretty early in it, and basically okay, you had the base game, which is Britain and Portugal and France, because you got to have Waterloo in your first game. And then the next four were army specific. They had Austria, Prussia, Russia, Spain, and then the fifth one had tactician cards. If you've played any of the Command and Colors with battle cards, and then the sixth one was called Epics. And all of these Richard board games, if you've seen them, they have double map scenarios. The rules were a lot smoother than what you saw in Command and Colors Ancients for it. And but what they did was it was kind of weird. I didn't understand it at the time. They had mounted maps for epics, what they called the epic boards, which is kind of like two regular size maps, maybe a little off on the dimensions. Then they threw two paper maps in that were deeper. I think maybe a little shorter, but they were deeper. And
Seems
then
like CGI, but
they made like 12 epic scenarios, and they called the big system Legrand bottles, and they made two of it. And then they had like 5 battles from Austerlitz that were single map, but they required multiple expansions to play because you got Austria. Oh, thank you. They had Austria and um, Russia against France. So it's because they're mixing stuff like that. So, but I kept thinking, why the paper maps? I mean, could they made a little bigger box? And no,
yeah.
what they were doing was they were giving you a taste of Legrand bottles. This thing was called Command and Color 6 Epics, Epic Napoleonics. They were just giving you a taste of it. Here, whet your appetite. Oh my goodness, did they whet my appetite? When they hit seventh one, it flips. The mounted maps are the Legrand bottles, and they have paper maps, the Epic. So you can skip 6 and start on 7. That's the only one you can skip. Pick one of those two. And again, they went 12 Legrand bottles and only 2 Epics. So the Legrand is so much more than anything in Napoleonics. And that thrust that game up to, it went from being, 50, 60 on my annual top 100. I mean,
Yeah.
it went right up there to the top with Washington's War, Empire of the Sun, France 1944, Cthulhu
Wow.
Death May Die, and this. And they just all take turns beating each other up on Well, who got played this year? If one he didn't get played this year, you're out of the top five. And but I mean, these all take it took over number one, and I actually finished my 130 some scenarios. So this one I've been waiting for since 2020. Now the joke was, I got when I got the cancel thing back in 2022, I canceled all of my pre-orders. So I thought I'm not going to live to see this stuff. Then all of a sudden, hey, I think I'm going to live. So I put them all back in. So I keep joking, and I see this thing. I go, dang it, GMT, how many times I got to get canceled before you put this freaking game out? Because everything else has come in. I mean,
Yep.
Battles of Julius Caesar,
Yep.
medieval expansion one, but it's coming out in like 2 months. So, so yeah, I am looking forward to that seriously. So,
Awesome. Oh, very
um,
cool.
but
Hey,
yeah, that's
we've
5
talked
years
about it.
waiting.
I'm not there yet on Napoleonics, but it's gonna happen. Someday I'm gonna find a game and whatever I'm gonna go, hey, this is interesting. Ooh, look at this history. Ooh, look at this battle. Look at this fight. Oh, this what's our and next thing you know, I'm gonna be getting this. I'm gonna be getting all kinds of Napoleonic stuff, and I'll be talking about it on my channel and on the show, and you guys will be like, oh, here we go. But I'll tell you though, they need to get not to change the topic, but they need to get Ancients reprinted. I was looking at buying that Command and
Hmm.
Colors Ancients. I think I owned it back in the day. I talk about that. I owned it and I looked at it and was like, I do not want to sticker all these blocks and trade it away or sold it. Well, now I don't care. I'll sticker it if I have to, but I can't find a copy. I mean, I can find them used and stuff, but I kind of want to get a new one to start the process, and it's not in stock. And I'm like, how do you not have one of your most popular games? I know it's GMT that's kind of famous for that, not having the most popular games in stock, but just
Well,
crazy.
the
So
okay, if somebody stickered it for you, thank them. That's value added.
yeah, I should
But
yeah, I
if
should
you,
be like paying more. You know what I mean? Like yeah,
yeah,
three
now
stickers.
if you want a sticker, here's the trick. You're watching football games,
Yeah, yeah,
sticker them. I mean, most of football is nothing happening.
yep.
Or baseball, nothing happens.
Oh
You can
yeah,
sticker, and it's a, yeah, I have 20 heavy infantry. So I'd put 20 heavy infantry in a little Ziploc bag, a little sandwich bag of this. I'd put them all in there. So that, and then I'd put a little piece of paper that's told what it's for so I wouldn't confuse them. And I pull it out. It's like, okay, Roman heavy infantry. Boom. And I'd sit there and do those 20. Boom. I mean, dude, I did Command and Colors, the Jacobite Rising. I did that on chemo. Don't ask me how I did that as my first one in because my eyes were blurry. I mean, they
yep.
hit you that Benadryl bag and you're like, but I went through all 6 hours and I did
Amazing.
that whole thing. And they're right. They're correct. I did screw them up. But, but I was like, it can be done. I mean, if you're sitting there bored,
Yeah, yep.
I
No,
went
I
to
hear you.
family reunions and I'm not saying they're boring, but everybody just sitting around chatting at a table. I just sit there and talk to people and sticker. And I was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just putting together a game, but just chatting away with people and just keep my hands
Yeah,
busy.
yeah,
So there are ways to do, but football games are the easiest ones to do them in.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, I'll just have to get my hands on a copy. So I'm not there on Napoleonics yet. I'm looking, but I want to get a copy of Ancients, and then I'll be good to go. Just the base, and I can go from there. But looks cool. Definitely. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I like the cover. But all right. So what do we got for chat? What do we got for people chatting here? So, all right, go back up. Ooh, we got some more
Now
comments
remember,
now.
I have four games that aren't
No,
on
for
PC.
sure. And I still have a few, so we'll be good. Yeah, we got plenty. You just let me know if you start running low on time here, Judd. Otherwise, I'm like I said,
No,
I'm good to no short show today. I can go for a while. I got no real time limit. So Mark Herman, he stopped by, of course, and he said Army Potomac now at the printer has solo. See, I told you Mark was coming in and he was talking about solo on Army of the Potomac. So appreciate that, Mark, for sure. Christoph says it's afternoon here doing laundry, preparing dinner. Any listening? I love it. Yeah, please tune in. You don't have to. I love when you guys participate in the chat. You don't have to tune in, listen, comment later too if you want. But comment in the chat, comment later, whatever works for you. Um, NP-DW4FC. I don't know. I never know. I don't know. What's your name, man? You got to tell us your name. NP here. NPC here. I'm interested in Warfighter War from DVG. I did back that myself as well. I did not want to decide to cover it though because I wanted to cover Warfighter Patton, Field Commander Patton. Just want to wait for reviews to see how bad, if there's errata, and how the balance is way too difficult or too easy. Well, find out once I get my hands on the game, but that's a ways away. Daniel asks, did you guys choose the game's most anticipated list by topic, mechanism, type, strategic, operational, tactical? Question mark. I can't speak for Judd. For what I did, I basically just looked through each publisher that I generally follow, and I picked out at least one game, and sometimes maybe more than one. But then there's definitely games I could have talked about, but I was like, well, we don't have a 5-hour show, just maybe a couple-hour show. So I was like, well, but I did pick out basically. So I went by publisher, didn't care about anything else. Went by publisher and said, yep, this one. Yep, this one. Yep, this one. Judd?
Yeah, I mean, I had a problem because Worthington doesn't tell you.
Yeah.
They kind of announce the Kickstarter right as this happened. They don't tell you. GMT always says, "Yes, we've got an interesting Mark Herman game coming up on blah blah blah."
Yeah.
Something like this,
See it in 2 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they'll tell you what they got coming down the
Yeah.
pipeline. They'll hint at it. Then about the next month, they'll tell you what it is. But
Yep.
Worthington doesn't tell you till it's out. You get an email, it's like, "Oh, new product from Worthington." Like what? So I don't know what's out there. I don't know if Band of Brothers next one's coming out. Jim doesn't kick them out fast because he wants to make sure they're done right. They play
Yeah.
test the heck out of those. I
Good.
I might get to see him in a couple weeks. I think my company's sending me up to that Cortland, Syracuse area, so I might swing by Rochester and play a game with him.
Play a game with him and pick his
He's cool.
brain a
He
little
is
bit.
a cool guy, by the way.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, we just kind of picked by, yeah, like you said. So I don't have anything from Worthington, but I mean, I love Worthington. I play so many of their games. I talk about their games, but it's not that there's nothing anticipated from them. I just don't know what they have releasing other than Wilderness War. Obviously, is a good choice, but
Yeah. And by looking at this, I got shocked, and I went to Compass. Like, I don't know of anything they got that I'm really interested in. All of a sudden, I was like, hey, wait a minute, Grand Army of the Republic? Wow, that old game? So, so I just went to the companies I usually, these are all sorted by publishers. So I just kind of went through them and
yeah,
looked to see what they had listed for 2025 because they'll list on 2025 and it ain't coming out in 2025. So
no.
some of it I knew was out. So then I look at 25 and 26 and see what was out there.
All right. Charles says just finished paying bills. Oh, shocked emoji. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, buddy. Trying this month to run at least one mission on a bunch of my solitaire games. Currently, American Tank Ace. Very nice. Very nice. Yep. Rusty, morning, gentlemen. Morning, Rusty. I see you've been commenting a lot on my videos. Great to see you in the chat. Daniel says Julius Caesar. Oh, it's pronounced Kaiser, by the way. Whatever. He didn't say that. He didn't say. I said that when people talk about it. Should be pronounced Kaiser. I don't care. Julius Caesar was a reference for Napoleon. Maybe if you think that way, Wayne, you will get into Napoleonic games. No, I know that he took a lot of inspiration, and I'm not opposed to it. Trust me. There's gonna be a point where just I like to get into history with my games. I've talked about it before. Me and Judd have talked about it. I love to get into the history, not just put a game, set it up, and play. Like I'll usually, if it's a topic I don't know a lot about, and Napoleon X Close one, I'm gonna end up getting a book or two. I'm gonna read those books. I'm gonna probably watch a documentary or a movie, and then I'm gonna play the game. And so I know the history and things behind, and it does come into play, not just as someone who plays games, but someone who has a YouTube channel and creates content, including reviews. I need to be able to speak to the game and say, this simulates history, and this is how it simulates it. Or this game does not simulate history, and this is why. You know what I mean? Like I have to have some connection to the kind of the mechanisms and the history and what it's trying to do. For me, so and I'll get there. It'll happen. It'll happen for sure. So Charles says, I have one block game. Strategico.
I have one card-driven game, Old Maid.
Exactly. Charles, that's funny. I like that. I don't know if you're trying to be funny or not, but that was really funny. Oh my god. Oh, I should have said so. Instead of saying like I never play solitaire, I only play solitaire. I never play two player. I mean, I've played some hidden movement games, some hidden movement game, Battleship, hidden setup anyway.
Double blind.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you think of that? That's the ultimate two-player game. All right. David says hello all. Howdy, David. Oh, Charles, you made my day. NP says, I don't actually know why YouTube added the extra part to my name. Just NP is fine. Yeah, I mean, you probably tried to do NP and they said, well, there's been a bunch of those NPs before, so we're just going to add some crap on the end. Do sadly need to leave in a moment. Happy late Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. All right, so I have, what do we have here? Where are we at? And then I have, let me check here. I have, we did your game, Judd. So my turn.
Yep.
Dun dun dun. Speaking of GMT, Thunderbolt Deluxe Edition. I should have pulled up the. Hang on, let me find it on Board Game Geek because I just realized now that the ones on like GMT's page, they're kind of, it's hard to see all the good stuff on it. So, ta-da, Thunderbolt Deluxe Edition, Rise of the Roman Republic, Carthage, and Thunderbolt in one box. So there's just Thunderbolt, and then there's Deluxe Edition. Deluxe Edition is reprinting Rise of the Roman Republic and Carthage. So Richard Berg, Mark Herman, Alan J. Ray, epicness, ancient world series. How do you not want to play a game where you can sow salt in Carthage, right? Carthage must be destroyed. That's the way it should be. I cannot wait to play this game. Now I'm gonna tell you, this game and this system, it's kind of an epic system, epic game. I'm gonna pull back. I think I'm gonna go back to the GMT. So give me a second, guys, because I thought I had. Oh no, I had the map somewhere. Where'd they go? Oh no, I can't see them. Oh, there they are. It's on the GMT's page. So back to GMT, everybody. All right, here we go. So we'll zoom in a little bit. So although it's an epic game, and you guys know I really want to play one mappers, and there's 3 maps on it. So if you look right here, you can see where the maps are. There's a full size map, and then a half size map. That's the thing, is you can play. I can play one mapper. So, and there's scenarios for Mercenary War. So one map, two map, one map, like a ton of one map scenarios. So obviously the first one I'll play is where's the African map? Where's the Crushing Carthage? That's the one I want. So where'd it go? Oh, those are the old games. Hang on. There, here we go. Thunderbolt. Several smaller scenarios, most playable on a single map, along with the second Punic War Grand Campaign. Will I ever play the Grand Campaign? Heck no. I can't fit all that. I don't know what that play area would look like on a table. You need like a pool table or something to play it. But can I Scipio Africanus, Invasion of Africa, and Crushing of Carthage, the African campaign? Yes, please. Sign me up for that one. So anyway, you guys know I love Ancients. You know I love... Here it is. So two 22 by 34 inch maps, Italy and Spain, and then a 22 by 17 inch African map. So that's the whole combined map setup. You guys know I love Ancients. You know I love Roman Republic, Roman Empire style. This one, yes, the full game I'm not going to be able to play all at once, but break down single maps and all these different scenarios. And I love having all the different scenario ideas and just a couple turns, 3 turns, 5 turns. Can't wait to check each of those out and just experience this game and this system. So... oh man, I can't wait. I'm excited. So anyway, this one should be coming not that long from now. Thunderbolt. So the Ancient World Volume 3, Thunderbolt, Second Punic War. But I'm going to get the deluxe edition, which then includes Rise of the Roman Republic and Carthage, previously printed, now long out of print, I can only assume. So, Judd, what do you got? Any comments on this or anything else?
No, not right away. You want me to do my next one?
Yeah, you're up now, buddy.
Okay. The next one was mentioned earlier. Berlin Fall of the Reich. Technically, I said, well, it's out, it's available for order, but it ain't going to get here before the 31st. So it's next year. It's not on BGG.
Oh, what's the name of it?
Berlin Fall of the Reich. It's the Area Impulse Ranella system. Manila.
Oh. Yeah. It's not it's got to be on BGG.
Didn't have an entry yet when I was looking for it.
Oh, let me look around a little bit. You talk.
Okay. Now the thing is it's not one I'm looking to jump out and buy yet. I'm waiting to see the comments, because it's what you said. I don't want the same game on another map. I already have. Manila scratches my itch. I love it. I'll play Stalingrad too, but Manila really hit it for me. Now it's a new designer. Mike Ranella didn't design it. It's his company, but another guy designed. Or he has that Take Games and they work with Revolution. Yeah. But it's a different designer. So when you look at it, you might think, well, all these games are going to be the same. And I told you, you could have said that about State of Siege after about the 3rd or 4th game. All these games are the same. And if you'd have said that, you'd have missed out on We Must Tell the Emperor, Ottoman Sunset, all the Ben Madison stuff.
This is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, not Board Game Geeks. Went to the publisher's site. We found it, everybody.
Yeah. So if you'd have said that about that, no, the system developed over time as more and more designers got into it, and then Darren Levenhoff, I think is his name. He added his stuff to it, and everybody's added, and you got this kind of big a la carte of different ideas you can use and make these games. And Ben Madison's really pushed the boundaries on what you can do with that game. So I'm kind of curious to watch the system and say, are people going to start expanding it, or are they just going to get stuck on trying to recreate Manila and Stalingrad? If they're doing that, I'm okay. It's what the Eurogamers call Jones theory. They say, if I have 5 worker placement games and I always go to the same 2, why do I have the other 3? And I laugh about wargamers can't quite do that. I have a Stalingrad game. That's the only one I need. But if I have, 3 or 4 simple Stalingrad games, and I find myself going to one, yeah, I probably will get rid of the other because I don't have enough shelf space. So
Yeah,
it's that thing. And I was like, so I'm curious to see what the comments are and what the feedback is. And if so, yeah, I'll look at it. So
for sure, for
kind of
sure.
that's why I kind of had an asterisk. I was like, well, let's wait and see.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Hmm. Yeah, just one of the ones where I'm just haven't yet, and I'm not against it. I think someone tried to say like, oh, what do you like about it, Wayne, or something like that. I'm like, wait, 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 time out. I don't not like it. I just with the first two, I really enjoyed. Maybe a little bit of fatigue on the system for me, where I'm like, I don't know if I need the third one. Which yes, it's funny because there's plenty of games I play that States of Siege style where it's very similar to its core, but there's usually so many changes that ultimately it feels like a different game, just maybe with the same core mechanism. Um, I do worry a little bit that okay, I activate an area, I move to an adjacent area, I flip and reveal the defending token. There's an event that occurs. I then add up the combat factors, roll, use a little track to add up my attack and defense values, and then see what happens. And then that's okay. That's one activation done. Now my next area and activate those two, and kind of do the same thing. I'm worried that that's kind of the core. And as much as that is a really good core and it's worked for the first two games, I worry that okay, so now we're gonna do the exact same thing for a larger, longer playing game in the attack on Berlin. So I don't know. I'm a little worried in that sense of like I don't know, but yeah. So that's my thoughts on that. But doesn't mean it's not gonna be good. Doesn't mean God, I ended up pulling up the map a whole bunch. That's what I was doing. I was looking at so I was trying to show you guys the map and say, activate one area, right? And the next thing you move them in here, flip the token over, resolve an event, do a combat. Okay, activation ends. Is that gonna be the gameplay, the core loop gameplay, just like it was for the other two games? So we'll see. We'll see. Not to be a hater though. I don't actually know how it's gonna go. So all right, what do we got for comments now? Oh, we got a bunch of comments now. Good, good, good. Let's see what people are saying here. Going back up, going back up. Man, a whole bunch of them. Nick says, speaking Napoleon, I'm hoping that Battle Commander Napoleon will be out in the next couple of months. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. Charles says I can never get into Napoleonics. Yeah, I haven't yet. I mean, I haven't really tried though. Mark H63, which is not Mark H50. So we have Mark Herman 50 and then Mark H63. So unless Mark Herman's got a fake account, he's also on here too as someone else. You guys make a great combo. It's great seeing Judd back in the saddle. I miss Hamtag. Hamtag is awesome. There's a recent video of Hamtag, by the way. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, go over to Chief's YouTube channel. Check that out for sure. I think Chief bonding with board games and RPGs, something like that is his channel's name. But just Google it, you'll find it. And yeah, great to see Judd on here, right? We appreciate every minute having him on here and sharing all of his knowledge. So Mark says should be soon on Thunderbolt. Sent to China a few weeks ago. Perfect. Yeah, I'm looking forward to exploring the system overall. Mark says have him because Berg finished the maps before he passed. Very cool. Yeah, I know. I mean, obviously, yeah, he's been passed for a while, but great to see a game that with him having the work he's done on it, started the series, and you guys working and all these things to get it finished, right? To kind of get more on it. That's really cool to see. So, props to GMT and everyone else involved, kind of getting it wrapped up and finished. So. It's like I said, the full game is going to be a big one on Thunderbolt. I'm not going to play the full scenario. I don't have space for that. And when it comes to like Vassal or something, that's even too much. I'm like, I don't want to play that. But by map, oh, absolutely. With smaller scenarios, sign me up. Every day, sign me up. Zama is a solid one map scenario, says Mark Herman. Well, if the great one's spoken, then I'm on to it. That'll be the first one I play then. All right. Jerry says Empire of the Sun is on the table, ready to dive in for 2026. Obviously not new, but acknowledging the great one, Mark Herman, in the chat. So, Mark, you're distracting everybody. You got to get out of the chat. You're distracting everybody. Josh says Gorilla Generation and Coast Watchers are the two GMT games. Lost my spot here. Okay. I don't like how it manages the chat on this system I got here, but whatever. Gorilla Generation and Coast Watchers are, I suppose I could do that too, are the two GMT games I look forward to. Also, last reprint of the Hunter should be a month or two away. Yep, so Gorilla Generation I have no interest in. A bunch of Central American and South American revolts and I mean, I'm not saying there's not history there, but it's definitely just one of those things where it's like, what a mess, right? What a mess. And I don't know if I gain a lot of value gaming a bunch of random uprisings, rebellions, dictatorships. U.S. has their finger in it, but it's been a mess anyway, and it will be a mess for a long time. So, I don't know. Just sounds like something not really interesting to me. And then Coast Watchers does look interesting, although not the type of game I really want to play because it's not. I mean, as far as I've seen them, it's not really a war game. It's a strategy game, and it's a historical game. It's a historical game, so I'm not saying it shouldn't count for anything. It's just not really a war game, right? You're doing the coast watching on like Guadalcanal, South Pacific during World War II. So interesting. I'm sure it's interesting, but just not really something that gets my fires going. And then the Hunters. So I'm not getting the Hunters, but I did P500 Silent Victory. So which I have the whole trilogy, but Silent Victory, baby. So I can't wait for that one. I want to do the U.S. Everyone does the German U-boats, and yeah, they're awesome and all that stuff. And the Battle of the Atlantic, how it could have went it could have been way different. But I played my share of German U-boat games, so I want to do Silent Victory. So I'll probably be covering that on my channel once it arrives. Oh, Josh says he's also got his copy of Berlin on Christmas Eve, so it is shipping. Okay, perfect. Oops. Good.
I cheated.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll give you a pass on this one, Judd. Jerry from Cardboard Commander says Berlin is on my doorstep when I got home. Jeez, what do you know? Yeah, looks all right. You guys let me know. And also Nick, me too. Berlin, I was excited. Jeez, everyone's excited but me. I feel like the odd man out on this one. Hey, whatever. Here's the deal. Everyone, please play the games you want to play. Be excited for the games you want to be excited about. Just because I'm like, I'm kind of, as of right now, maybe feeling a little burned out on the system, and I don't know if I want to play a third game with the exact same system. That's my worry. So I'll pay attention to you guys, what you guys are saying about the game, and if it looks different enough, I'll pick it up. So the same with Bruce. He got one too. Jeez. Read the rules. Very similar to Manila and Stalingrad. Has a few tweaks versus the first two. Stalin approval must be maintained, for one thing. Well, yeah, obviously Stalin. You got to keep his approval, or else he'll send you off to the gulags. Very similar though to Manila and Stalingrad, huh? It's a little disappointing to hear, but not surprising. Anxious to get Thunderbolts 2. It looks good, says Stuart. Absolutely. Jerry said Wayne just explained a great game. Can't wait. Christoph, me personally, I'm still discovering different game companies and game mechanics. I have Stalingrad Advanced to the Volga, so I'm going to pass on the Berlin game, but good game, no complaints. Yeah, it's Stalingrad Advanced to the Volga, great one. Manila, I like more than Stalingrad. Obviously, I think the top, it's Stalingrad. It's Stalingrad game. It's going to be way more popular, but I do think that as a game and maybe simulating history even as well, so kind of both of them, right? The two things you want in a war game, I think Manila's a little better. I think Judd agrees with me in Stalingrad. So they're both good though. I mean, enjoy both of them. Nick says, Wayne, Battle Commander Volume 1 is a tactical Napoleonic game that is on GameFound by Sounds of Drums. Okay, and GmbH. I think that means they're like a German company, right? So, okay, I'll check it out. Mark H, not Mark Herman, I assume. Most anticipated. I know it's not a war game, but John Butterfield's away team. Mark, you got to use commas. There's a comma on your, if you're assuming you're typing on your phone, because Jim Marks, please comment. I'm not picking on you too much, Mark, but I know it's not a war game, but John Butterfield's away team, Torpedo Junction from Compass, Thunderball to House Divided, reprint of Arden 44 from GMT. That's one long sentence there, Mark. I know there's different games in there. Yes, away team looks good. I don't know what Torpedo Junction is. Thunderbolt, yes. House Divided, yes. Arden 44. Not into the ZOC Bond series, those games. I just haven't really gotten into them. Not that they're bad, I just haven't gotten into them. Stuka, of course, Berlin just arrived, so everyone except me has a copy, has bought a copy or is getting a copy. So that's fair. Again, all y'all tell me what you think because I'm not getting. Now I'm definitely not getting it because everyone else was buying it. So why even get it? Nick says, Mark, I'm set it for away team too. That looks interesting. Yeah, I sold my copy of Pandora from SPI. I was in college when that came out a couple years ago. Judd, do you have experience with that old
No,
Pandora? Okay, all right, okay, all right. Well, I still have games. Judd still has games. Let's keep chatting. So, what did I just cover mine? I covered Thunderbolt, right?
I did Berlin.
You did Berlin. That's right. So dun, 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 let's look at another GMT. Back to GMT for me. Bear Trap, Soviet-Afghan War, 79 through 89. So this is one that is based on the Sekigahara, or how do you pronounce it? Sekigahara system, the block system.
Sekigahara.
Sekigahara. Sorry, based on the Sekigahara system. It does have a solitaire bot, so it is solo friendly. I think that map looks really cool. So I have discovered, and this is a recent topic, Soviet-Afghan War. I got interested into it kind of with a Fulcrum Leader from DVG that I covered on my channel not long ago. And I played a campaign in Afghanistan, and then there's a couple in the game. And I started reading, I read a book, and I just was like, wow, what an interesting conflict. Obviously, there's history in Afghanistan before that and then after. But just interesting seeing the Soviets in there, kind of what they went through, how they handled, what happened with the Mujahideen and the rebels, and kind of the support then they received from the West, including the United States. And it's just really interesting seeing everything. So Bear Trap, I think looks pretty cool. Hang on, let's see, is that plugged? So internet's struggling.
Looks like the old 56K modem days.
Yeah, my modem's struggling. Sorry, I'm losing my internet. America Online here. All right, so here's the map. I think it looks really cool. I can't pronounce anything here, but I think it looks like it would be a really cool game. I don't know a lot about the system per se, but I'm interested in that conflict and learning more and gaming it. I know that the Soviets, their main thing ended up being they came in obviously to assist the socialist/communist government that was in place. They got rid of the leader, installed a new one, and then they basically ended up securing major cities and the roads, and that was about it. And the countryside was where it's just wild out there, and they would send raids and they would go in, and it was just a crazy conflict. Very interesting, very helped assist the fall of the Soviet Union type of conflict, right? I think that it's probably, I don't want to say it's undergamed, but there's room, right? There's room for some games on it and kind of seeing it explored. And just honestly explored without it being maybe too political. I mean, obviously there's politics are core of pretty much every conflict, right? But just kind of seeing it gamed, war gamed. And so you have combat impact, you have Soviet fatigue, right? Because that's what happened, right? Is they got just like, Americans in Vietnam, but it didn't lead to the fall of America. Well, unfortunately, this for the Soviets, unfortunately for them, led to the fall of theirs, or helped with it. Soviet fatigue, Geneva talks. So when they finally said, you know what, we're gonna get out of here, we're gonna start withdrawing, which is fascinating to me because if you read some of the history, they decided to withdraw like 4 years before the war ended. Basically in '85, they basically were like, we're gonna start withdrawing. Why it took them 4 years to leave, I'll never know, but definitely interested in this game. So this is Bear Trap from GMT.
I couldn't get an internet connection, so the Google Maps didn't work for them.
Oh my gosh. All right. What do we got? Any good comments here? What are people saying here? Let's see. All right. Anything new? Punctuation's optional, yeah. Mark Herman says, I'm with you. Don't want to run a U-boat Gatto class for me. Yeah, that's why and I've done my share of running U-boats and U-boat campaigns and this and that, but Silent Victory. I know it's been out for a while. It's not a new game, so that's why I didn't really bring it up here, but definitely looking forward to the reprint and getting that played. So Tom, a card in Twilight Struggle, Judd's favorite game.
It's sarcasm. I don't hate it. I just said I made a comment on my top 100. I said I like it. I don't love it.
His favorite war game, at least. So.
And Rusty's asking, Mark, is it digital Army of the Potomac already in the works? Well, they did Gettysburg. They did Rebel Fury, which I own both of those. So I can only assume that Army of the Potomac, if not in the works, will be very soon. I can only imagine. So All right. Judd, what do you got?
Okay, next one. I don't. The reason I have these ones here, I don't know if they exist. I have heard the talk of them existing
Oh,
and in the works. So I don't know. I'm not close enough. So a couple years ago on Blue Panther, he made the struggle with Zorn, the Red Blight, Herman Luttman, Fred Manzo, Ryan Heilman.
oh, yep,
Fantasy,
yep.
yeah, fantasy war game. It's like Herman Luttman's perfect blending of Ameritrash and war game.
I hate the
And
artwork.
yes, yes, game's awesome. But
I imagine.
anyways,
I bet it is. I bet it is. I
and
look
he
at him like, oh,
yeah, he talked about an expansion with more characters in it, with EA,
okay,
and developing the solo system. It's cooperative, but it's played best when it's competitive cooperative, meaning only one winner. So
okay,
you'll end
all
up
right.
fighting each other while you're fighting the board.
Yep, yep.
But I went on and played it with Aaron. We just played it cooperative. So, but yeah, he's wanting to work a little bit more on the solo rules. So,
Very
anyways,
cool.
I don't know. I don't know if it's in the works. I don't know if Herman's working on it. I just heard talk about it. He mentioned on the message boards before. So I don't know how far it is, or if it's next year's even reasonable, or
I know
if
he's been
it's
busy.
pipe dream or whatever. But
Yeah,
if it comes, I'm on. I'm on board for it.
very cool. No, awesome. Yeah, oh, the artwork's tough for me. The artwork's tough for me to get over. But yeah, I can only imagine I'm probably missing out on a good game. So it's one of the ones added to the list of like future potential. Like, yeah, I just need to just bite the bullet and get it. So, all right, all right. So you did that. I did that. Ooh, here we go. So which I'm gonna get. I don't even know if I want to show this one because you guys are gonna trash me because it's I just talked about literally Berlin, the new Berlin game. I'm like, I don't want to play a game that's in the same system, this and that. Now I'm about to cover Berlin game that is a sequel to another system. Yes, that's right. Get your pitchforks ready. Get your I told you so hypocrite stuff ready. So, oh, I gotta reset this up. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. And then it looks like AOP Digital is in the works. So let me pull this up here. Where'd it go? I know we're a high quality production here, folks. You guys gotta put up with it. All right. Once I find it. Here it is. It's great. I don't even want to hear. You know what? I shouldn't even show this because you're gonna give me crap. All right, there it is. Pulling it up here. So, Fall of Berlin, End of the Thousand Year Reich, 1945, from Michael Taylor. It's part of the East Front series. This is published by Legion Wargames. I covered and I absolutely loved Velikia Luki, Stalingrad of the North, 1942. This is look at this. It's a $16 game. I don't talk about price usually on games because everyone gets them different ways. You live in different areas, but this is a cheap game, or inexpensive, I should say. It is a small map. Look at that. That's Velikia Luki. It's classic hex encounter. It's not solitaire. It's 2-player, but there's no hidden information, so it solos really well. And basically, in this case, Velikia Luki, it's basically Germans are on the defensive. Russians are trying to recapture Velikia Luki, and the Germans are holding them off. So with that in mind, this Eat Front series, I think it was kind of a hit. Surprised them a little bit. Michael Taylor rushed, getting. There we go. Or not. There we go. Somewhere in here. There we go. Fall of Berlin. So now you take the system into covering Soviets trying to capture Berlin. Map is going to be another smaller map like that. I love the fact. So smaller size map, hex encounter, old school, very simple rules. But the map looks good. It's not going to jump off the page and be like, holy cow, this thing looks amazing. But I think it looks good. Counters all look very clear, easy to read. Again, nothing fancy. But sometimes, clear, easy to read, especially hex and counter games, is something that if you don't even have that, right? You get counters that are clogged with stuff and you can't read the numbers and it's just a mess. So definitely looking forward to this one, kind of seeing a little more expensive, but obviously times change, things get more expensive over time. Fall of Berlin, End of the Thousand Year Reich, Russian Front series, game number 2, volume number 2, from Michael Taylor, published by Legion. It's supposed to be this one, along with a solitaire one, Doodlebugs or something like that, was supposed to be published the end of, available summer 2025. No, it's now it's 2026. It's not out yet. They're looking at early 2026. Legion is one of the publishers, and I love a lot of their games, but they're one of those publishers that they take forever to get games out, and they always will say it's coming out now, it's coming out this year, it's coming out this summer, and then it doesn't. It comes out 2 years later. I'm confident this one will not be 2 years from now. I'm confident this will be in 2026. So, Fall of Berlin, End of Thousand Year Reich. Let me check the comments here if you guys are trashing me or not. See what people are saying. Bruce says, I did development and playtesting on Fall of Berlin. Working with Mike Taylor is great. Should be a really good game when it comes out, if I say so myself. Oh, I like to hear that. Jerry Carver Commander says, I am sure the system is different. ... Ha ha. Yeah, sounds about. I figured I'd get more comments from you guys. Considering I was talking trash on the other Berlin one, and now I'm like, but look at this Fall of Berlin. It's way different. Here's the deal. It is what it is, guys. I will say what catches my eye on Velikia Luki and then now Fall of Berlin is the fact that it was a small map hex encounter, and I think that sometimes with hex encounter specifically, full size maps can get to be a bit much. I'm looking at you standard combat series when you're putting out 200 counters on a 200 half-inch counters on a full size map. Oh boy, that's a lot, and that's a lot to play. Each turn back and forth, especially if you're activating everybody, like I go, you go style. Fall of Berlin, small map, fewer counters. Topic, sure, same topic as the Solitaire Area Movement Series Sam's game from Revolution, but I don't know, just looks interesting to me. Looks very playable, and Velikia Luki caught everybody by surprise. It was super popular. My videos on it were super popular, and a lot of people have been picking it up, and I think I included it on my value games list. I did a top 3 videos, top 3 of part 1, where I covered 3 cheaper games, less expensive games you could play, and Velikia Luki was one of them. So Josh says, I'm too old to find an emoji for a pitchfork, so I'll let it slide, Wayne. Haha, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So I'll probably get some trash talk in the comments after the video is done, but that's okay. I can handle it. I got thick skin. And if not, I'll just ban whoever said it, so it's no big deal either way. Works for me. So, Judd, what do you got now?
Okay, then I don't even know the name of it.
Oh, even better.
I heard about it years ago, was sworn to secrecy on it, but now GMT has spoke of it in one of their newsletters, so cat's out of the bag, so I hope I'm not in trouble.
Uh-oh.
It is by the Great One, and it is a World War II Mediterranean theater game based on the Empire of the Sun system.
Oh.
And as soon as he said that, the drool was all over my shirt.
Let's see. Keep talking, yeah.
So, if you haven't played Empire of the Sun, you need to, because it is a game experience unlike any other. I mean, it's something else.
That handsome fella. He's the
I am far from a master of it. Mark Herman could probably beat me with his eyes closed and doing one of those Bobby Fishes. You're not even looking at the board and just crush me. But it's fun to play. Anyway, so I don't even know what he's planning on doing with it. I was thinking, well, if you're going down the Italian peninsula, maybe that's like trying to go through Burma. I don't know.
No Board Game Geek page for sure. So
yeah, but I just saw it on the beat. GMT was talking about it on one of their. Here's what's coming up. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Now, I don't know if it's this year. I don't know if he's years away from it. I just know it's somewhere out there in the future, and very much looking forward to it.
So based on the Empire of the Sun system.
Yeah. And I've seen other things based on which I think they've been folded into as scenarios. There's a Burma game and there's a South Pacific game with covering Guadalcanal area, the Solomons, and they're a blast. They're smaller, but I mean, I think in future versions he rolled them into scenarios. I have edition 2 of that, and then I got the C3 eyes. And I'm assuming, it's going to have a new map, but I'm just curious to see what he's going to do with it. Is he going to abstract parts like he did at China? Mind wanders. It's.
I don't know.
Mad Dog. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Mad Dog and the Med in progress.
Yeah.
Cool. You heard it here first, folks. World first. Mad Dog and the Med from Mark Herman.
No, it might have been on GMT's page.
As released by Judd, who spilled the beans. So Judd and Wayne live releasing breaking news. 2027, he says. Okay. Breaking news from Judd and Wayne Live. Tune in every other week for our show for other breaking news as well. We're not done yet, but I'm just saying.
Okay. So I know very little about it, but all you had to do is you had me at based on Empire of the Sun.
Based on that, yep. No, I got you. Very cool. No, awesome.
Oh yeah, he also has the Plan Orange. It's also based on Empire of the Sun. So
Yeah. It's been. I'm surprised it doesn't.
it's kind of, well, it's a different map. You couldn't make it
Charles.
into a scenario. It goes a lot wider. It goes out to Panama Canal.
See you, Charles. Happy New Year. All right. So what else we got here?
But yeah, it's kind of cool to see it roll over to the Atlantic because I kept saying, like, well, yeah, it works really well in the Pacific. I always wondered if this would roll over into the Atlantic. So
going back to DVG and old Vincent Cooper, I told you I'd have a game of yours up here, buddy. So, assuming you're still in the chat. Dun-dun-dun. Guadalcanal. So, Valiant Defense series, originally created by David Thompson, and with Pavlov's House. Continued on. There's been multiple games. I've covered. What was the other one I covered that people really liked? I don't know why so much. I don't know why it's not a good game because it was a good game, but I was like, I've been getting comments on it lately. Valiant Defense series. So what am I looking at here? Lazarus Ridge. Duh. Okay. Well, Battle of the Bulge. That's why. So the Battle of the Bulge. That's why people have been playing and talking about it lately. But anyway, Guadalcanal, Battle for Henderson Field. Hopefully he's got some good images on here because he's had some cool. Oh, it's gonna be all zoomed in, isn't it? Dang it! He had a board image before that I really liked, but I guess it was online, so this is just zoomed in. It's unfortunate I don't have the full board, but I really like to look at it. Obviously, you're defending right Henderson Field and Guadalcanal from the Japanese attackers, infiltrating, coming in, mortars. Your men are trying to hold them off, protect that airfield. You need those supplies. You need those supplies flown in, and you don't want them having an airfield to support their own. So, Guadalcanal is an interesting conflict. I think also another one that's a little undergamed. I think that I'd love to see more games on it. So, Guadalcanal, Battle for Henderson Field from Vincent Cooper and DVG. Definitely looking forward to this one. Should be coming out. It'll be coming out. Should be coming out next year. I didn't back it, but I'll get my hands on a copy somehow. Get my hands on a copy somehow. So what do we got in the chat? I said 500 when I checked yesterday. Says Rusty. Oh, for the P500, I assume. Christoph says Nils Johansson art always good. Yeah, the art looks really good. Like I said, I wanted to show the full board. Sorry, guys. It looks really good. So check that one out if you're interested in the topic. Valiant Defense series, Solitaire, DVG. The board looks amazing, and all the cards look amazing. Yep, as Sugajo says, the map art, Guadalcanal by Nils Johansson. Lazarus Ridges was awesome. Yeah, so I know. Let me pull it out. Let me pull up. Did I have some more at least? There's some counters. Those look really cool. Cards look nice. Yeah. Interesting, like a dark look, which I kind of like. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't know if I like this look. I do like it, because you had a lot of those night battles. The Japanese would love to attack at night, so you kind of got that image of like this is these fights are happening at night, right? And I really like that look. So anyway, that is Guadalcanal, Battles for Henderson Field from DVG. Looking forward to that one. Judd, what do you got?
Well, first I got to show off something from the last one.
Oh no.
That's my copy. That's my copy of Empire of the Sun, 2nd edition.
Whoa! Wait a second. Oh boy, look at that.
Yeah,
you could sell that for big bucks.
Yes,
you're gonna hang on to it, aren't you?
Yes, more valuable than Shakespeare's autograph. This is me trying to shove it all in. See, it doesn't really fit together. Yeah. When GMT came out with the 3-inch box, I go, I can't do it because if I put this on top of it, it's still going to look weird.
Oh, that's right. I was going to say, you keep
and
the cover.
This is signed by the great one. More valuable than Shakespeare and Caesar's autograph. I heard that was like the two of the most valuable ones ever. But anyways, so yeah, I had to show it off.
Very cool.
I know you're
excited. Yeah, yes. What do you got?
My last game, I am absolutely sure will not be out this year.
Oh.
Because what I thought we was doing, it was just doing games we're anticipating. So
sure.
No time limit. So
throw it out.
Okay, well.
Oh boy.
Let me get this out. Just holding my game up.
Oh boy.
You probably know this one.
I've heard of it. I
know you don't like Compass, but you should try this one.
Someone worked on it that I know.
Yes. 2 people worked on it.
It's true.
So, anyways, and I dare say I am the biggest fan of this game in history. You have to ask Mark Herman, but I'm pretty sure. Mark, I nagged him for years to make this to reprint this thing.
Mark, any comments on that?
I wasn't that good at nagging him, but I think John Krantz is better. But anyways, when this came out, there was supposed to be, which is a reprint of that game, and expanded the map out to Berlin, or more into Germany. But anyway, there was going to be a Russia 1944 independent game covering the
Okay.
Russians, and then you could put them together for a third game. I don't know if you're familiar with Battle for Germany, the
Yeah.
Jim Dunnigan game,
Yep. Yep.
SPI, where you take.
Decision Games did a deluxe edition on mounted map and stuff where you have right. You have East Front Ally, West Front Axis, West Front Ally, East Front Axis, right? Like you
Yes,
swap. So you kind of
and
you're
you're
on each
racing.
side, but on each front, right?
Yeah,
Really cool game, by the way. I love the deluxe
cool
edition of Decision
concept.
Games. Really cool. Yeah, great
Yeah,
concept. Super great
yeah.
concept.
I've seen the map. I have a copy of it, a digital copy of it, because when we were doing this one. So yeah, um, bingo. Yes. Well, here's the kicker. So a few years after it came out, people were asking on the message boards, because I subscribe to it, answer questions, stuff like that. And somebody said, "Whatever happened to Russia in 1944? Did this thing fall through?" And I didn't want people thinking it was like some type of bait and switch. So I answered
Yeah.
just
Yep.
straight up. I said, "I'm sorry, it's all my fault. I got cancer, and I really didn't
Yeah.
think I was going to live to see it." So then when I got over that,
Yep.
then Great One was knee deep in about 5 or 6 games already. So I wasn't going to go pester him on, "Hey, we should do this. We should do this." So then, meantime, I went out and got some games on Operation Bagration, I think they call it. I used to call it Bagration because I can't speak any of that stuff. Although I should be, I took 4 courses of Russian. I should be better at that one. But, um, anyways, I'm very rusty, so don't ask me to say much except dirty words. Russian guy at work taught me those. Um, but, anyways, so yeah, and then I got it, second time, and then
Yeah.
this year, boom. Um, so I whip this thing. I'll write them and say, ready,
Let's do it.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, I hope in February everything comes back good. I mean, I feel great. None of the stuff that they told me back in July has ever happened.
Yep.
Well, I thought I was having problems with my lungs. Now it's just bronchitis. It's clearing up. I'm getting stronger. So I'm like, I don't really have the symptoms still. So maybe this stuff. I'm working doctors out east, so I think this stuff might be working. So I'll know in mid-February. But yeah, when I get this thing start flipping around, so that's why I've been buying a lot of games lately, because I want to make sure I made it through this. So,
Yeah.
but
No.
anyways,
No. No.
but yeah, if we do that, yeah, I'll be ready. So I got some of those Time Life books, the little gray, black and white series
Yeah.
on what was going on from Kursk on out, because there was a good intro point to it. Because I didn't know hardly anything about that. Watched a few videos, just trying to get on, catch up to this stuff. But also, the other reason why is because it is really cool getting to work with Mark Herman.
I can only imagine.
Have you seen Goodwill Hunting?
Yeah. Yes.
Remember when Matt Damon disses that guy on that snobby guy about the American Revolution,
Yep. Yep.
and then the background band after that goes, "My boy's wicked smart.
Yeah.
He's wicked smart. Let me tell you." I mean, we were doing that. He pulled out a book in German on where the V1 sites were at. Said, "Let's figure out where these are at on the map."
Very
He
cool.
probably read the German too, but I mean, but anyways, like, man, just he works on a whole different level, and it's really cool.
Really gets
So
into the history and everything like that.
yeah,
But yeah.
because people think they know what designers do, and I think maybe they do, but he's on a whole different level. So it was really cool.
Well, Judd, just so we know, I wanted to say, you're buddy, you're going to be in my prayers. You have been, and
Thank you.
I know you're gonna kick butt just like you have been. You're going to get nice and healthy. So I know a lot of people here are going to feel the same, either in their prayers or if they don't have that faith. They're still going to wish well for you and wish the best for you. So we got this is an awesome hobby, and we need more out of you for the hobby. We need you,
Yeah,
buddy.
and
So
I'm getting my man, when that last scan came back, they bumped my meds way up like 50%, 150% on some.
yeah,
Man, it knocks you out,
I can only
demotivates you, and everything. So that's why when he's like, "What's on your table?" 65. Didn't you have that on your table 2 months ago? Yeah, I'm still
yeah,
trying to make another move on it.
yeah. It's like
Well,
what?
so then I just pulled it off and just said, "Do easy games." Well, now I'm starting to make my list out. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to work on some heavier game. Not all heavy games, but yeah, it's like I'm getting the juices flowing and get back into some of this heavier
Awesome.
stuff. So
Well, yeah, when my wife had her cancer, right, and she had 6 months of chemotherapy, it was the week of chemo was bad for her. I mean, she was we both jokes. I'm saying this with she basically coined the term. She was like a potato, right? Like she's like my potato mode. And so for the week of chemo, she's potato, and then the second week you recover, right? And then the next cycle begins or whatever, the next week, third week, I guess, whatever it would be. But that first week when she's, she goes there, they do it while she's there, and then she would go home with the pump, right, in the port, and they'd sit there pumping in her. So she'd be laying there on the couch, just like zombie mode, potato mode, we joke. And it took it. I mean, she wasn't doing anything else, and I didn't expect her to do anything else. Like that second week, she felt better, and she would kind of get active, and she'd want to do stuff. So she'd start messing around the house and cleaning up and doing this and that. But the first week when she was getting the chemo was just lay. What would you expect? I mean, she's laying there and they're pumping poison into her body.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Well, they give you
poison that kills the cancer, hopefully before it kills you, type of thing.
Yep.
So that's really
I got 6 hours. I got 6 hours of the stuff on Wednesday, and I would go home crash.
Yeah.
Because I learned after 2 weeks, you can't fight the Benadryl. When the Benadryl bag hits you, you just say, "Night," And
yeah.
But then they pump you full of steroids, and you're up super late, and you got that annoying 5FU bag on every 30 seconds.
Yeah. It beeps and does its thing, and
so the next day I was dead. Well, I was working remote. I didn't work on Wednesday, but the next day I worked remote at my work. And I told my boss, if we're in a meeting and you say something, yell my name because I have fallen asleep. Yep. I'd fall asleep and wake up an hour and a half after the meeting was over. And one time I told him, like the next week, I said, "Hey, I'll have that stuff done for you." He goes, "You already did it." I go, "You sure?" He goes, "Yeah, I've already approved it." I go, "I sure as heck don't remember doing it." But yeah, it was usually through Saturday that stuff would start to wear off.
Yeah.
And then Sunday it'd bounce back. And I told people that went through the same treatment I did. I said, write down how you feel every single day because you'll get really depressed. And after about 2 rounds, you'll start figuring out, oh, this is following a cycle. I'm going to be tired today. 3 days from now, I'm going to get it back. 5 days from now, I can start drinking ice water again.
Start feeling better.
Neuropathy. Yeah.
Yep. She would, she'd hide the pump in put like a pillowcase and a pillow and a blanket on it and stuff, so that because she wouldn't hear it because she got crazy with the noise of it doing its thing, and she would drive her crazy. And she's like, "Doesn't it bother you?" I'm like, "No," because all I cared about was her, right? So I was like, "I don't care," but she was the one dealing with it physically and going through it, and so the thing would I think it beeping and booping and all its noise made her think about it more, and so I think it drove her more crazy even than like me hearing it. So I'd always be like, "No, I can't hear it," or whatever. Even if I could hear it, I didn't care. But she'd try to cover it up so she couldn't hear it. Meanwhile, it's pumping stuff into her. So anyway,
I slept in the basement with a little speaker on it, and I'd play continuous rain noise, white noise,
just to have something on for sure.
And that did pretty good. But man, those steroids still made you.
Yeah.
But yeah. But this round's different. It doesn't go in cycles. It was just 2 months of you're freaking tired. All you do is laying on the couch watching football games. That's why I've watched more Bears games this year than I've watched like in the last 10 years.
Been able to, sit here like, I'm just gonna sit here and watch this. So yeah, Judd, you're gonna get through this. Been harassing his Packer fans for a long time. Yeah, he will be too. That's the thing. He's gonna freaking A. And Christoph, good to hear. Best wishes to you. Yeah, definitely, Christoph. I can repeat that too. So, geez, I think that's the last of my games that I had picked out.
Yep.
Is that for you too? So
yeah.
You guys, we don't have to be done quite yet. If you guys got any comments, any games that we haven't covered, or you just showed up a little bit later, in the chat, put them in the chat. Tell us games that you are interested in, most anticipated of 2026, or even future, maybe past 2026. Doesn't have to be for sure 2026. I mean, we've talked about games that have already actually are being released right now, that are shipping to people. People are playing on their tables. Who cares? Games that we probably talked about a few of them that we think are 2026, but really are going to slip to 2027 because that's just how it goes in this hobby. So you guys share whatever games you guys got. We'll chat about them a little bit. What do you got? David says, "I'm looking forward to No Turning Back, the Wilderness Game and MMP's Line of Battle series." Oh, that's like an epic series of games, though. That's like gamer games. Also, the new edition of 3 Days of Gettysburg from GMT. So, funny thing about that, I did notice, and we haven't talked about it yet, I don't think, Judd. So 3 Days of Gettysburg from GMT, it is going to come with a simple Great Battles of American Civil War rule set. Yeah, I know. And there's going to be a separate pack they're going to release that's going to have simple rules for all the other games. So I'm interested to see. I'm not P500 3 Days of Gettysburg yet. My worry is with that You guys know I love Great Battles of History, and it's now that I got my new table here, it's kind of in the way, but you can see Great Battles, Great Battles, Great Battles, Great Battles. I love the system and I love playing simple, but I worry that Great Battles of the American Civil War, everything I'd seen, so there's a lot of counters because it's down to what is it down to the regimental scale, I believe. That's a lot of counters. So my worry is that you have a game that's like, well, these are simple rules, so the game is going to be a lot faster, easier. It says whatever. Well, here's the deal. Even a simple game, and again, I mentioned this earlier, great standard combat series. When you have 300 counters on a table, I don't care how simple the rules are, it takes a long time to resolve movement, combat, figure DRMs, roll dice, all those things. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. I'll let you guys decide that. When I had the Simple Combat Series Cold War game, I played it like once. It took me like an hour and a half to set up. I played it once and I said, I'm getting rid of this. I cannot do this to myself. Like there's like 300 counters on the board, half-inch counters, all these things. So I worry that even with the great battles, the American Civil War, it's still going to be just a long slog fest. Totally fine if that's what you want. It's not necessarily what I look for in my games. Even something like Blind Swords, which are not fast games, generally speaking, you have, because of the way the activation works, you're doing chit draw, and then you're just activating a few at a time. And a lot of the times with the battles, I feel like I don't even know if I play out a lot of the scenarios, because what happens when I play Great Battles, Blind Swords games, is I get like halfway through a scenario and I'm like, oh, the rebels are carrying the day. Like they're gonna win this. I stop there. Or the Union, they held out. The rebels have zero chance. I end the scenario early. I don't play out the full scenario.
Yeah, I call them too.
Yeah, it just. I mean,
My opponent doesn't care.
Yeah, why play it out? But anyway, and I'm not. That's just my initial impression of the whole simple thing with 3 Days of Gettysburg, and then with all of them. So we'll see though, for sure. Mark Kermany got that Defiance. Yeah, I think it popped up on when I looked at your page. But Defiance designed to play solo and 2-player. So Russia, Ukraine, 2022 to dash ? Right? The former when it was the the War on Terror one when it was 2001 to ? Right? So that's kind of that. Game. Yeah, that idea. So definitely looks interesting. We don't get political on my channel because we just focus on the games and the history. I did see a little bit of political stuff on the GMT's page, so I was like, I'm not going to cover it, but definitely a very interesting looking game and a interesting conflict, a very tragic one, honestly. Mark Sherman says, have a great weekend, all. Back to work. Great one. Great to see you. Thanks for stopping by as always. Bruce, I really like Worthington's Travel Series games. Oh, speaking of which, just got their Battles of the American Revolution and Mexican-American War. They have Tarawa and Midway coming out late 2026.
I got them both in 1812. They made a third one in there.
Yep. So I don't know if Judd texted me a picture of the three, and I think because those are the Hex Encounter now, right? Those are Hex Encounter, aren't they? And Judd texted me a picture last night or the other night, whatever, and I was like, oh man, I did not pick those up. And they haven't sent me any copies for review copies. So I'm like, man, I want those. Those look cool. So again, guys know I love to mix it up with smaller games mixed in with bigger ones. I like to kind of go back and forth. So
since my company's talking about sending me up to Syracuse area, I was like, I know 3 games I'm taking with me because I'll I'm up there for a few days. So
perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Rusty, Great Battles, American Civil War versus Blind Swords. Got to have both. If it was one or the other, Blind Swords.
I agree.
Easy choice. But yeah, try both. Here's the deal. There's room. Get both.
Yeah.
Ooh, Combat Commander solo system. Interesting. My wish list is a broad in scope, multiple scenario, yet easy to play. I'll go with medium complexity. It doesn't have to be light because it could be too light. Medium complexity or lower, solo friendly, as in solo design tactical game. I want Bandit Brothers. 65. I want, what's that?
65. They have a dedicated one. You're playing against artificial
It
intelligence.
does. That's right. Alone in the jungle or whatever, right?
He
So
also has the Graveyard of Empires, Afghanistan,
that's
Russia,
right. That's right. He does.
and Night of Man,
Well, because
which
that's
is,
based on Night of Man, which I have Night of Man. You guys can't see it; it's over on one of these shelves. But I have Night of Man with the Alone Against the Aliens expansion. That was actually one of like my first, maybe well, it probably was my first because I was thinking it was one of their first games, one of my first Flying Pig games, and I loved it. The squares, it's kind of interesting now when I look back and I played. I just the other day I got it out and I was looking at it. I'm like, oh, that's right. I was like, it's squares, not hexes. I'm like, okay, whatever. I kind of prefer hexes at this point, but worked for me
see,
then. So
65's Hexes.
yeah, yeah. See, so
I think the
maybe
new one is too.
he talked about Mark.
Mark
Is it Mark
Walker.
Walker?
Yeah.
Yeah, he talked about doing a second edition Night of Man a little bit. Like he's kind of broached the subject. I think be a lot of people interested in that. I don't know. I'd still buy. I have my first edition with the first edition expansion. I could sell it online for way more than I paid. I don't care. I'm keeping it. I would still. I would pay for. I would pledge for second edition for sure. But whew, man, we went 2 hours today. We killed it. Holy cow! 2 hours and 10 minutes. Jeez,
Yeah.
you guys, you kept us busy. Kept us real busy. I'm looking forward to. There's a lot of good games. And here's the deal: we covered a ton of games. Me and Judd covered a ton of games. I love that game. I have that game 85. It's good. Yeah. So the Graveyard of Empires. We. Oh, Josh has a question. Judd, are you using the Solitaire expansion for 65? If so, how is it?
Yeah, it's exactly the same as Night as Man. It's phenomenal. The only
Yeah.
bummer is the scenarios with the game doesn't work with this. They are unique scenarios. You saw this Night of Man. All the
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the Lone Against the Aliens has the counters, the
Yep.
cards that drive the aliens or the
Yep.
opponent, and it also has scenarios set up for that.
But there were a
So
bunch of them, if I remember correctly.
yeah,
Scenario.
so
So it's not like you only get to play one scenario. I mean, there's a bunch of scenarios.
yeah, there's a bunch, but I mean
You just don't get everything technically.
yeah,
So
but it's so that's how 65 is, but
okay.
and it's not a tough game to solo. I mean, Combat Commander I can solo. It's not perfect, but a lot of people solo Combat Commander, and you could do it for this one also.
Yep.
I mean, you just don't. If you draw three cards, you just draw them and put them upside down, and then when it comes back to that time, they don't know exactly what you have. Yep.
Solo and 65 graveyard. Good. Not complicated to get into. Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really get into those, which is weird because like I said, I love Night of Man. I have Night of Man up on my shelf, and Alone Against the Aliens. I don't know why I haven't. It happened. There's only so much time and money and shelf space you can get. It's like So, and then Rusty says, Judd and I share a Band of Brothers liking for squad tactical. I think I love the idea of squad tactical. I just need to find the right game and system to really enjoy. And I don't think there's a perfect solo tactical scale like game yet. That's again with multiple scenarios. I have covered. I've talked about. I'm not gonna dig it out. Boots on the Ground, the deluxe edition one. Me and Judd, we have, you know, yeah. He says the Mog, but here's the deal. Either way, and that includes Boots on the Ground. Yes, it has scenarios, but it's the same exact one big map. That's a urban desert area, Fallujah, where there's fighting going on between Marines and insurgents, Fallujah. And so it's very like, that's it. So yes, there's like 20 scenarios, but they all take place in that same map. You're basically clearing buildings, moving down alleyways and streets, getting attacked by RPGs and clearing other buildings. It's like, which is really good, really fun experience, really good game. But there's not a lot of variety there other than because that's all the map is and that's what all the scenarios are. Or you escort a VIP from one end of the map to the other. But again, you're in that same urban map. These buildings are shooting at you from through the windows and doorways. So I'd like to mix it up. So I want a solo tactical game that has a variety of scenarios, and I like the maps when you have like the geomorphic maps or whatever, where you put them together, so you can build different scenarios, things like that. So yeah, man, yeah. We covered a ton of games, Judd, but there's still games. There's plenty of games coming that I'm interested in that either we didn't talk about or I don't even know about yet that are going to come out or going to be announced, and I'm going to say I want that one, for sure. So I cannot wait. This is a good time to be a war gamer. Good time to be you're a solitaire wargamer, 2-player wargamer, doesn't matter. Great time. Lots of good publishers putting out fantastic, high quality games. You got your GMTs been around, are still kicking butt, but you got DVG for solitaire games. But you have new publishers popping up. I've been playing Iwo Jima Hell on Earth from Neva Wargames, a new release. Jose Manuel Neva. He's the designer, also obviously created the company. They have a couple games being released, and they got a bunch more. And super smaller game, but it's got super high quality components, mounted map, pre-cut, die cut counters, all that good stuff. So a lot of good games out there. But Judd, anything else on your mind?
Not that I know of. Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning into this long. We had more people in this video, this live stream than we've had in a while. It is a good golden age right now, I'd say. I feel like there may have been a old time.
Oh yeah, it's like yeah. I went through the Live Strong program at YMCA when I got out of the original chemo because I was so weak.
Yep. Build that strength back up and keep it going, right? So
yeah, but with this bronchitis, I'm getting right back into Live Strong. I talked to the lady just to get my stamina back up.
Stay active, right? So they say.
Yep.
So and that's for everybody too, by the way. But it's for all of us, me included. So Duke Joe, great show. Great to see you guys. Happy New Year to you as well. Happy holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. We're heading into a new year, and it's gonna be a great year. Bruce, great show, guys. Happy and healthy New Year to all. Judd, best wishes to you. Hope only good news for you. Absolutely. Yeah, he's we know, absolutely. You guys, we'll be back in 2 weeks, so it'll be January 10th. And then I will be on, I think, I don't want to quote the date, January 29th, maybe. I'll be over on Old Carberg Commander's show. Jerry, Judd's sick of hearing me talk, so he's told me, yeah, go ahead, get on the other show. No, so I'll go have a little show with Jerry over there. But other than that, we'll be back in 2 weeks, guys. So
and hey, when the video posts, not now, but when the video posts, put some comments on there on topics you want.
Yeah, guys, yeah, for sure. So share your topics. So not in the chat now, but when the post is after I end the broadcast here in about 30 seconds. And you can comment on the video where those comments, they stay below a video, right? And they're there like permanently forever. Comment, let us know any topics you guys want covered, any wargaming topic or non-wargaming. We covered some Ameritrash games a little bit. We can talk about that stuff too. Whatever we want to talk about, we'll squeeze in war games pretty much every show. Don't worry. But whatever you guys want to chat about life, you let us know any topics. Certain publishers, games, styles of play, strategic scope, tactical. You want to cover... I know card-driven games. Judd could talk for 2 hours on card-driven games. I couldn't talk for 2 hours, but I'd let him talk, and I'd just listen and learn some stuff. So whatever you guys want to hear on the channel, and for us to cover, you go ahead and let us know. But otherwise, yeah, Happy New Year, and let's have a great 2026. So I think we'll see you guys. All right.